We open on a dimly lit hallway that seems to stretch on endlessly. The walls of this hallway are lined with mirrors, each one full length and surrounded by a golden frame. We hear footsteps as a young girl comes into frame, her long braids flapping behind her as she runs at full speed down the hallway. Angelique, please, slow down! She calls out to her reflection in the mirrors. Her reflection seems to flicker in the dim light, until it changes to something that still resembles the girl, but the colors are all different. Her skin is paler, her hair is a darker shade of brown, her skirt is black instead of blue, and there are golden ribbons in her hair in place of the pink ones the other girl has. I told you to stop following me, the reflection snarls. She runs further ahead in the mirrors, revealing that the girl herself has no reflection of her own. Please wait, I can help you, the girl cries out. If we could just stop and talk, maybe we could. I can't stop, the reflection shouts in response. If I don't keep moving, then he's going to. Going somewhere, ladies. Both girls skid to a halt as a sinister figure saunters into frame. He grins at them with a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth, almost as sharp as the tips of the curled horns on either side of his head. You can't run forever, you know. Sooner or later you'll run out of steam, and when I catch up to you, I'm going to take what is rightfully mine. The girl in the reflection, Angelique, screams at the top of her lungs, No! As she does, the mirrors shatter one by one and send shards of glass exploding out of their frames. The boy with the horns doesn't even flinch, his grin only widening as the shards fly past him. The other girl, however, screams in terror as she curls up into a ball, desperately trying to shield herself as the shards dig into her skin. And then, just as suddenly as it happened, it's all gone. The girl is still screaming as she shoots upright in her bed, only stopping when she realizes where she is now. Her mind is racing as she attempts to calm her panicked breathing and shake off any lingering disorientation. Right, it was all just a dream. The latest of many nightmares she's had to endure this past week or so. And yet, no matter how much she tries to convince herself that none of it was real, she couldn't shake the feeling that these nightmares had more meaning to them than they appeared to, and that perhaps they might be a prelude to something truly terrible that was going to happen to her. Hello everyone, my name is Cartoon Kitsune, and I would like to welcome you all to Shattered Reflections. I will be your DM for the evening, and joining me are my lovely players. Please introduce yourselves and your characters from top to bottom.
Hi, my name is Avi. Today I will be playing the goodest boy, Koro, and Shiro and Azumi. Azumi is also here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had the image of like a screen panning in and it's just like on Kuro, and then it pans out and Azumi's also there.
Yeah, it goes with the sparkly title. It's like Koro, yay! And then it just pans up, also Azumi.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Koro's got like the tongue lolling out and everything.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Candlestick, and today I'm going to be playing Dr. Crystal Everlight. Yeah, so this should be fun. She's sure probably gonna have a time.
Definitely.
And I am Oatmeal. I will be playing the professor. Real kind space alien, loves to get into other people's business.
Yes, and we'll be getting into that in just a moment. But first off, because all three of your characters are going to be kind of embroiled in this plot one way or another, and we're going to start out with Azumi. Because Azumi, you have received a letter. It was sent to the detective agency, but I believe it would have been marked for you specifically, given you sent it, because this was a letter sent by one Doctor. Well, they don't have a name per se, but they're more commonly known as inmate among those who know them. And
Commonly known as inmate, with the addition of very, very many nicknames.
Fair enough. But yeah, the letter in question, it's requesting Azumi's help in a matter regarding one of their patients. The letter doesn't go into too much detail, saying that like they'll go into more detail like once Azumi gets there. But the gist of it is that one of the patients has been having these strange night terrors, and while most of the other doctors think it might just be like a result of stress or something, and that the dreams probably don't mean anything, um, the patient in question seems especially agitated about this and believes there's more to it. So inmate made the call to kind of get a little bit of outside help to see if maybe they could, check and see like there is something different going on here.
Yeah, he's taking that. So like he's definitely taking that seriously with him. Probably a good thing he's taking Cora with him because agitated patient, huh? You know what's good? Dog.
An emotional support doggo, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in a similar vein, for you, Crystal, I think rather than a letter, there's a good chance that inmate might have gone up to you at some point, like while you were visiting Villestown Hospital, because Crystal doesn't work there, but she does like go there like fairly frequently for work and stuff, right?
Yeah, she would be in probably like not like every week, but every other week kind of thing. Like if there's like someone there that they want her to look into, or if she's like trying to gather resources specifically there, it would be frequent enough that that he'd be able to catch her.
Yeah, I think that's probably what happened at some point. Like they came up to her, like, "Hey, if you have a free day this week, could you maybe come and come with me and like check on this one patient?" And Crystal, I'm gonna give you a roll of history to see if you've heard about this patient in question before, because there may have been a couple of rumors regarding the patient in question going around the hospital recently.
All right, I can do history.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think my modifier will save that roll.
Mm-hmm. 14. That's pretty good. Okay, so you definitely would have heard about this part of it. That approximately like I'd say about like 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, a patient was admitted to the hospital. But the strange thing was that she was admitted without a name given. And this wasn't like a Jane Doe situation where like a patient comes in, they're unconscious, and you can't really get the name for them, so you have to call them something before you can wake them up. She was just not given like a name when signed in. And there's been a lot of rumors flying around about like why that is. The most common one being that people suspect she's some sort of nobility or like a noble of some kind, and that her being here at the hospital, like they don't want her family doesn't want people to know that she's here because it might cause a bit of a scandal for one reason or another.
Yeah, that's probably makes sense. The role level, then, because like she probably would have noted down the issue of, hey, someone's here without a name. That's definitely suspicious. But
Yeah,
wild speculation is really not her field of interest. So a
yeah,
lot of the rumors she probably would have dismissed outright without any sort of like evidence backing them up.
right on. Yeah, so that's kind of your stake in all this before this whole meeting takes place. Meanwhile, Professor, you have not received any sort of summons from inmate or the hospital or anything like that, but you have been picking up some very strange readings on the Ellipsis sensors coming from the general vicinity of Villestown Hospital. And I'm gonna have
Mm-hmm.
you roll an Arcana to see like what exactly you're picking up,
Sure.
just to start with.
All right, let's see. That is a 11. My Arcana's not very high.
Okay, yeah, so you probably don't get all the details, which makes sense, like, you're not, like, right in the area, so you can't, like, scan for a whole lot of specific stuff, But what you pick up is like there's some sort of weird like dimensional anomaly going on here. Like space is getting kind of warped in some way.
Mm.
You're not sure like the specifics of it. You're definitely gonna have to get in a lot closer to like get a better scan and like see what the heck's going on there. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, of course that is what he is going to want to do.
Right on. Yeah. So, I'm going to say that the professor is the first one to arrive at the hospital before the other two. Professor, how are you going to be doing things here? Like, getting to, like, certain the source of this anomaly within the hospital?
How is he determining the source of it?
Like, how are you going to get in there to go and check on this?
Oh, I think he is just going to act like he belongs there and just start walking in.
All right, which probably works out pretty well for him because he's already got the white coat. However, I'm gonna have you roll a deception to see if you manage
Certainly.
to walk on in there without drawing any notice to yourself.
Uh-huh. All right. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, well, I am gonna,
Mhm.
that was a terrible roll, so I think I'm gonna use, my, Bard's Bracer to re-roll, because I can do that to 1 charisma roll, per day.
All right, roll it.
So, hopefully I get something better than that.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I got whiplash because I was like, wait, I made that.
Yes, you did! Okay, so instead of a 2 on the dice, it's a 16 on the dice, which means that, let's see, his modifier is, yes, it's
Mhm.
that. It's, I can't do the math in my head, hang on.
It's all good.
Da-da-da.
Math hard.
24.
Very nice. Yeah, no, you just walk on in there. With you let like nobody bats an eye at you. Like everyone just going around there. It's a busy day, as it usually is at the hospital here. So you just like walk on in without anybody paying any notice. And
Mm-hmm.
from what you were able to get of the scans, it's leading you in like the general direction of the psychiatric ward of the hospital. So you're gonna head in that direction, and we're gonna cut back to you in just a bit. In the meantime, though, I think now would be the time where both Azumi and Crystal are gonna be arriving at the hospital.
Right?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and of course Azumi will be arriving with Koro, obviously.
Yeah, Azumi's got Koro with him. Koro is
Mhm.
wearing the service vest, I think it is.
Yeah,
Uh, this is a dog with a job.
yeah.
uh, and he is very good at it.
He is doing an
Uh,
amazing job, and we love him for it.
but yeah, he's going to enter and probably does like checking in with the at the front entrance. It's been a hot minute since he's been here.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I think canonically the last time he was here was last year.
Mm-hmm. Would that
Uh,
would that have been like when Camille was hospitalized, or
yeah,
that's
and
what I thought? Yeah.
there was a whole bunch of attempted murders.
Yep. Yeah,
Oof.
like you do.
Yeah, Crystal's probably just like going, like she's been told to come here at this time, and so yeah, straight in to the desk, no nonsense kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the secretary working there, who I will note that they're a nobody. They're like one of those little nobodies because I just love the nobody so much. So
Mm.
yeah, they're gonna check you in, and they'll page the doctor in question, inmate, and they'll head over in just a moment. In the meantime, if Azumi and Crystal want to talk or anything, they have a few moments to do so.
Surprised to see you here, Detective Azumi.
Dr. Everlight. I wish I could say the same, but given that you are a doctor, that was the equivalent of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like not that kind of doctor. She's sort of like opening her mouth to be like that because she's used to correcting people on that, and then just like the hang on a second.
Mm-hmm.
And just like squint was that like she doesn't know if it was a joke or not, and is probably keeping a pretty straight face.
He's got that Kit probably knows what I'm talking about. He's got that sort of like smile on his face, and he does like a gesture where he kind of like makes a placating hand gesture, and he just goes, "I'm only kidding, of course. I know you're not that kind of doctor."
Right. You'd be surprised how many people make that mistake. But I suppose you're here for the patient?
The one in the psychiatric ward.
Yes.
That would be correct.
Interesting. I was not aware it would need that sort of help.
Well, I happen to be on God, actually, how does he phrase this? I happen to know the good doctor rather well, so I suppose I might as well see what I can see, so to speak.
Ah, yes. I suppose that would make sense. If it's it was a formal request to Moria's agency, but no, that makes more sense.
Well, even then, I would be eager to take it up regardless.
Fair enough.
And I think
Crystal is not good at small talk.
fair enough. I was gonna say at this point would probably be when inmate comes in to meet with them.
Alright, should I give a brief description of inmate?
Please do.
This is a human real kind, kind of I want to say average height. I forget what the average height is, but they are 5'7", a little above the average, I think. Black hair that goes about to their shoulders, and a pair of striking red eyes, and they approach and they say, "Ooh, hang on, I forgot how to do their voice. Give me a sec." Let me actually pull the mic closer because their voice is actually pretty quiet. I'm glad to see that you both arrived safely.
Yes. What is it you need our help with?
The patient in question, they kind of pause and they kind of glance around. They're still in like the front area, right?
Yeah, you're still in like the kind of like lobby area. So if you want, I think inmate might start like kind of leading them towards where the patient's room is, and they can walk and talk as they go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. They kind of like make a gesture for them to follow them, and start walking down the hall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both Crystal and Azumi are going to realize that this is for privacy reasons. Neither of them are stupid, so
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my mom pushed to talk. So as they're walking, I think they're gonna hit a few bullet points that Kit sent me earlier, and they say the patient in question arrived a few weeks ago, but they are she has recently been having vivid night terrors that would and often wake the other patients as well. This, alongside with some more concerning happenings, has it is cause for alarm, so to speak.
Do you have suspicions of an outside influence?
They kind of tilt their head in your direction. Crystal, by the way, you've probably noticed by now whenever they look towards you, they don't they don't make direct eye contact. Almost like it's very difficult for them to do so. But they what did they say? They say I am not quite well versed in the magic sense. My expertise lies with physical physical ailments, and I would like to ensure that my patients are in good health. And if the therapist in question, the therapist who has been helping this patient in question, cannot determine what is wrong, it does not seem wise to rule out outside influence altogether just yet.
Yes, if it's not something normal, then I suppose that would not leave, well, that would leave the unusual left.
And they kind of just nod. Sorry, playing two characters at once is very, very difficult. Well, I forgot that Azumi was there for a second.
It's entirely fair, man. You take your time.
So valid. No, I think Crystal's probably just going to just she's running through her mental mind book of everything she can think of that could cause something like this.
Well, another thing you can do, you can ask more questions about the patient, what was she brought to the hospital for instance, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Crystal's a little bit caught up. Azumi might have to ask those questions. I'm so sorry, Avi.
Oof.
I feel like this would probably be better once we get the party together, at the least.
Probably. Yeah, in that case,
just so we don't have to repeat ourselves.
Fair enough. In that case, we're going to cut over to the professor. Professor, I'd like you to roll me a survival check to see if you can find the specific place in the psychiatric ward that you're following the signal to. This distortion
Alright.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, so I'm gonna say, unless you have something you can add to that, you are hopelessly lost.
Oh well.
Yep. I know you are just wandering around the halls.
I find that funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor, you've just been kind of wandering the halls. I assume you have one of some little sciencey device that probably goes beep or something, and you've been trying to follow
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be fritzing out, or maybe it's just like pointing him in a direction, but like the building's in the way, so he like goes one way, and it like no, the building doesn't. It then turns into a completely different direction and doesn't get him in the direction he wants, and it's like, oh, I have to backtrack.
I have to ask, does he like almost run into a wall at some point?
Oh, almost certainly. With that roll.
I'm just thinking like the GPS turn left here. It's like I can't turn left. There's a wall there.
And I think this is where the rest of the party finds him, just like hopelessly like walking in circles through the halls, trying to follow this device in his hands.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, Crystal's going to be immediately like, what are you doing here?
Azumi like stops mid-step and just kind of just glares at the professor like, what the fuck?
Well, I'm trying to investigate a dimensional anomaly.
It's just gonna pitch the bridge of her nose and just, no, please, not today. Go away.
You just hear inmate go, what?
Dimensional anomaly, a sort of irregularity in space. Sometimes planar, sometimes just dimensional.
Sorry, inmate's gonna roll insight.
I was about to say, you should probably roll insight on him.
I mean, he is telling the truth. He's just describing what a dimensional anomaly is.
But also, you are a stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do not know who you are. You have a strange device with you.
Oh yeah, he has no reason to believe that Professor is actually here for that.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
I rolled an insight for Crystal,
Mm.
and I got a 10. I'm pretty sure she thinks that he's just here to mess with her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
An 11. Okay, at the very least, you believe that he believes this.
Yeah. I'm
He
gonna say the
seems to be
11.
sincere.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Inmate's
the 11.
just
Yeah. It's also enough for you to put.
Inmate's just staring.
Oh,
Inmate's
that-
just staring directly at the professor.
I was also going to say an 11 is probably enough to know that this guy's kind of wandering around blindly, and you don't see like any other like doctors or nurses with him, so you have to wonder if this guy came in through the proper means, or if he just kind of snuck in without anyone's approval. So
He is unaccompanied, yes.
yep.
Azumi, I think Azumi is just going to fucking pinch the bridge of his nose and rub that hand against his face before he just goes, he's with me.
You get the most pleased, beaming smile.
You get a very sharp look in your direction, the tone of which is fuck you.
I think Crystal's gonna turn to... You just can't kick him out.
He'll just come back in on his own again.
Enough.
Inmate just is.
They're just standing here, man.
There's a moment of silence.
Crystal's immediate response is, that's confidential.
They are assisting me with a matter regarding a patient here. And they're just gonna start walking down the hall again.
Mhm. Yeah, Professor will follow inmate. Very chipper.
Azumi's directly. Azumi's gonna try and keep in lockstep. I can talk lockstep with Professor just so he can get his "I can't fucking believe you" into his ear while they're. And Koro is just happy to be here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Professor
how,
is.
I was gonna ask how, sorry, I was gonna ask how Cora reacts to seeing the professor again.
Well, he is trained for the he's wearing the vest. He can't really do anything too dog-like yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because vest means time to work in doggy brain.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a notable
Recognition?
notable recognition. His tail probably started wagging.
Aww.
Doug says person checks out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took a drink. Yep, that's about right.
Professor does. He just seems very amused.
Zooey is this close to wringing Professor's neck as they're heading towards the patient's room.
Mm-hmm. He does hold up the device as if to say, like, I really am serious. Like,
I don't think that helps.
Yeah, they don't know that, like, what they're in for has nothing to do with dimensional weirdness. It's
Nope.
not helpful.
No. The device does seem to be responding to the direction in which they are going, however.
I was about to say, yeah, the device definitely would be beeping a whole lot more the closer you get to the patient's room.
I actually think Crystal's eye might twitch every time it beeps.
As they get to the door, Azumi is just, I hate you so fucking much right
Alright.
now.
Okay, so I think at this point you guys have arrived at the room. I'd say inmate would probably be the first, like, maybe hold open the door for you guys. And yeah. So you guys enter the room. It's a pretty standard hospital room. There's like the bed, a curtain, all that. There's only one bed in this room, so it's like one of the private rooms. And on the wall opposite the door, there is a big window. It's got like curtains and stuff, you know, to block out the light in case the patient needs to sleep or anything. But you guys look over to the window, and let me grab something here. Okay. So you guys look over at the window, and you guys see this.
Girl
So,
out the window.
yeah, so there is a young woman. Yeah, there is a young woman standing at the window, just kind of wistfully looking out of it. She's fairly young, not quite a child. You'd say maybe like late teens at the oldest. She has this very long brown hair. It's not tied up at the moment, just kind of swaying in the like light breeze coming in from like the window isn't like completely open. I think there'd probably be like a safety screen or something, but you can like crack it open a little to like get a breeze in. She's not wearing the usual like hospital gown that most patients would have. She has like this very nice like kind of silk nightdress sort of outfit. Looks like probably real silk. Looks like probably very expensive from what you can tell. But I think she hears the door open, and she kind of like turns around, probably lets out like kind of a slightly startled little noise because she might not have been expecting anyone to come in. And she said, and I think she probably notices inmate there as well, and says, "Oh, sorry. I'll get back into bed." And she hurries back over to the bed, and she's saying, I know I'm not supposed to be getting up by myself. But I just wanted to look out the window for a bit. Sorry."
That's alright. Are you fine right now?
She nods. Yes. I'm feeling okay. I'm not feeling dizzy or anything. Do you want to check my vitals again? And I think they'd probably be like sort of the basic stuff like heart monitor, blood pressure tester, that sort of thing. I will say inmate. You know what the girl's condition has been as considering like what's happened to her recently, which we'll get into later. But you know that she's kind of been, because of what happened, she's kind of been under observation lately. She doesn't have to be like constantly watched or anything, but basically like every so often like someone will come in, take her vitals, ask how she's doing, that sort of thing, just to make sure she's doing all right.
Yeah, I think if nothing else to settle nerves, because this is a worried doctor. They take their job very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
If she's letting them, they'll take a quick check over and whatnot. But they'll also like keep the window open for her,
Mm-hmm.
just to give her just to get some fresh air.
Yeah, she definitely seems to appreciate that, and she'll do whatever she said. This patient, like, she's usually pretty obedient when it comes to like whatever you tell her to do, with like checking vitals and this sort of thing. So.
And I think as they're doing this, inmate will introduce them to Azumi and Crystal. Unfortunately, they still don't know Professor's name.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. I think the girl will probably say something like, "Oh, are these the people you asked to come and help me with my problem?" She asks inmate.
I'm so sorry. They are so very blunt. They
Aw.
go. Two of them are.
Aw.
Ignore the other. He's not important.
Oh, okay, it's, nice to meet you. What are your names?
I'm Dr. Crystal Everlight. I work in researching medical maladies and magical ailments.
Yeah, she nods. I think she kind of exchanges a glance with inmate briefly. Like she can definitely see why somebody who studies magical ailments specifically would probably be brought in for what's going on.
Hang on a sec. Alright. Precursory medicine check from inmate.
That's good. Yeah. So yeah, her vitals seem to be normal. Her heart beats a tiny bit fast, but it's not like abnormally so. You get the sense that it's probably because she's a bit nervous meeting all these new people.
Yeah, in that case, they might just offer a hand for her to hold.
Aww. Yeah, she'll definitely take that.
They're not a psychiatrist, but
Yeah.
After that, I think Azumi will just go, Detective Shiro Azumi. I suppose you could say an acquaintance of the good doctor. I happen to be quite skilled at solving mysteries.
Oh, you're a real detective. That's neat. She seems like pretty impressed. Like you get the sense like she's probably like never like met a real detective before.
I think he kind of like smiles and like nods. And he says, what does he say? He was going to make a joke about Villestown and detectives. I lost it right as I was going to say it.
It's alright, take your time, man.
Well, you were bound to meet a detective during your stay in Villestown, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think she nods. She's not really in on the joke, but she kind of nods along. She definitely would have noticed Koro at this point, and she's like, "Oh, I like your dog. Um,
Oh, yes. He kind of like glances towards inmate to see if it's all right to like to take off the vest so Koro can sneak around.
yeah, it'd be fine as long as Koro doesn't mess with like any of the machinery or anything." So
He wouldn't. He's a good boy.
he is. He absolutely is.
And in that case, with the okay, Azumi's gonna take off the vest, and he goes, "This is my companion Koro." And as he takes off the vest, Koro is he's still like sitting next to Azumi, but he looks like he wants to sniff the stranger.
Aww. Hello, Koro. It's nice to meet you. Is it okay if I pet him?
Oh, absolutely. And Azumi just kind of makes a gesture for Koro, and Koro immediately just like trots right over.
I think she'll timidly hold out a hand for Koro's sniff.
Was that Kit?
Oh, sorry. Internet's going screwy. She timidly holds out a hand for Koro to sniff.
Kind of does that like dog thing where he puts a paw on the bed and kind of like leans up or pulls himself upward to like sniff at it.
Aww. I think she like flinches back like just for a second, like when he like steps up like that. But when she sees that like he's fine, she'll like hold the hand out, and if Koro will let her, she will give him a little pat on the head.
Koro does a little you know the Shiba Inu noise?
To do the Shiba scream.
Not quite the like full scream, but it's like
Okay, good.
somewhere between a whine and
Aww.
the scream. It's quieter.
Aww.
But Koro is very happy to get attention.
Aww.
And Azumi kind of just goes, "Oh, don't worry about him. He's very excitable."
Aww. Yeah, she's definitely smiling now. She gets to pat the dog. He's very soft too. And I don't think I'm not sure if I've ever got to pet a dog before. I don't think we had dogs back at home. She's kind of like mumbling to herself, like she's trying to remember something. Yeah, but that aside, she seems very happy to pet the dog. Meanwhile, while this is going on, out of curiosity, Professor, would you kind of be think you'd be going around the room with your little device, trying to scan for stuff while everyone's distracted by the doggo?
Yeah, honestly, I think he would.
Yeah.
They told her not to mind him, so he's just like, well, if in that case.
They 100% minding. They are watching you.
Yeah. The girl's just like, yay, doggy! And meanwhile, the other two are just like glaring intently at Prof.
Yeah, he's not drawing attention to himself purposefully, not that he needs to make an effort to do that, but he is just kind of going around and sort of pointing the device in different directions to figure out if. Not sure if he can, but maybe.
I'm gonna say that you kind of search around, like all around the room, and the beeping kind of goes like up and down, sort of as you get like kind of hot or cold, that sort of thing. But you notice after a while that the beeping seems to like go the fastest the closer you get to the girl, And if you point the device directly at her, it seems to be confirming, like, this is probably the source of the distortion. And what you do is roll an Arcana check, or I think you have Identify, right?
Oh, I do
Or
have it
detect.
Identify.
Yeah.
Identify does take a minute to cast.
It
And it's
also
a touch
requires
spell.
touch.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he can do Arcana first, and then if he gets something, maybe he'll think to do that.
Sure. Let's roll the Arcana first, and then after that, I mean, you can always try to ask like permissions, but let's do
Yeah.
Arcana first.
Well, that's a 5.
Yeah, not very good.
Wow.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give you advantage on this just because like this is kind of like a distortion like this would probably be kind of more in your purview, so
Mm.
there's a higher probability like maybe what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Still only an 8.
Okay, so you're getting like vague magic vibes from this girl, like just because of like your device, but you can't pinpoint anything. However, I could say that because you're not like really getting specifics just by looking, that might be even more reason for him to want to try and cast Identify on her.
Yeah. I think it's probably occurred to him, but also they're still having a conversation. So he's not gonna do it yet, but that is something now.
Yeah, something put a pin in that for later. In the meantime,
Yep.
though, yeah, I think when she's done playing with the doggo, very good boy, she'd say, oh, right, I'm sorry, I almost forgot, I should probably tell you, why I asked, you all to, come here. Oh gosh, where did it even begin?
The doctor mentioned you were having night terrors?
She nods. Right, let's see. I guess it kind of all started, around the time I first came here, when I fell asleep and I wasn't waking up. That's what it was, right? And she kind of looks over to Inmate for confirmation on this.
They give her a nod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Inmates under doctor-patient confidentiality, so I don't think it would occur to them to like start
Offer.
speaking if the patient is awake and in front of them.
Fair enough. I will say, like, I think, like, beforehand, like, because she, like, she asked you to, like,
Yeah.
get some help. Oh, hello?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hello?
Hi.
Okay. Got my internet.
Did not hear anything you said.
Hold on. Okay, testing.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
gosh.
last thing we heard was when she looked towards inmate for confirmation, and inmate just kind of nodded.
Right. So I think I would say that beforehand, because she asked like Inmate agreed to like get some help with this. She probably would have agreed to like telling these people about it because like if it was necessary to do so. So like if Inmate wants to get into like like her condition, why she's here, what happened, all of that, I think she'd be okay with it.
All right. Give me a sec to switch over to our DMs. Okay. As I try to figure out, how did I word this? Is a good question, though.
Yeah.
They kind of head to the side and they go, transferred here from a more rural area for Ruma. due to the lack of resources in that area, they were not able to accurately diagnose her condition. When she arrived, a few days after she arrived, she fell into a coma for roughly 3 days, and after waking up, we were able to accurately diagnose her with dissociative identity disorder. However, and they kind of pause and glance towards their patient to make sure that she's still okay with this.
She nods. She kind of gives him the go-ahead. She definitely looks like still a little bit nervous, but she's kind of been that way the whole time, so...
Yeah, they haven't stopped holding their hand.
Yeah.
Inmate goes, about the time her night terrors began, she has lost contact, so to speak, with her alters.
I think she kind of nods and says, "Yeah, after I woke up, it didn't start right away. After I woke up from that coma, they were here and I could hear them, and well, it was nice that I could hear them now, because she kind of stumbles over her words a little bit. Well, it's a little hard to explain, but well, I guess I didn't. I wasn't. I guess I wasn't around for. I think Lyra said it was a few years at least. Um, but I only after what happened. I'm here, and I know that we know that we're all here, and she kind of shakes her head. Sorry, it's I'm still kind of learning about all the right terms and stuff, and how this illness or no disorder works. I'd never even heard about anything like this until I came here.
That's all right, dear. Just you're doing your best.
Yeah, she nods and kind of shakes a deep breath to kind of calm her nerves a little. Well, anyway, I guess it should start from the beginning. Well, when I was in the coma, I had this. It was a. I guess it must have been a dream, but it felt too real, and I woke up in this other place, and I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't even remember my name or where I come from or how I got there. Um, so I kept traveling through this place. There were all these different rooms, and that's I met these other girls, and I didn't know who they were, but they knew me, and well, it wasn't until a lot later that I figured out that they were she has to pause to think for a minute. Alters, is that the correct word, Doctor?
They nod. They said that is a proper term for it. Yes.
Right. Well, that's where I got to meet them, and like I said, they seemed to know me, but I didn't know them. But I got to know them as I went through, and well, parts of the dream were kind of scary, but other parts of it were kind of nice. Some of the places in there were pretty, but well, I thought after I got out of there, I thought everything would be fine, but well, when I have these nightmares, I see that place again, and it looks like it's being destroyed by someone. And she kind of shudders involuntarily a little bit.
Crystal's got like a notebook out and she's been writing things down in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she will at that she'll sort of like pause and just, do you know what this person looks like?
She nods. Um, They look like a boy, but I don't think that they're human because he had these horns. She kind of like gestures to either side of her head. They were curly and they were striped black and white, and I couldn't. And he had these long bangs, and I couldn't see his eyes, and he had this really scary grin with these sharp teeth, and I saw him a few times throughout the dream when I was going through it. He'd show me these shows, like theater shows. I guess they were my memories, or maybe the other girl's memories, but they weren't. She thinks for a moment to kind of come up with the right words for it. They were all really mean, and they kind of showed the girls in like a really like not nice light, so to speak. I always felt like he was mocking them, and I can't, I can't help but feel I don't think he was supposed to be there. He's definitely not one of my alters, but whoever he was, he's definitely bad, and I think he wants to hurt me, and he might be trying to hurt the other girls, and now I can't hear them, and I'm getting really worried about them, and I don't know what to do. And I think at this point, like she's kind of like gripping the blankets a bit more tightly with one hand, and the one that inmate's holding, she kind of squeezes a little bit.
Yeah, inmate squeezes back. Another showcase of how inmate wishes they were better at comforting their patients.
Aww.
They are trying,
Aww.
but like they do kind of shift to be a little bit closer, and they squeeze her hand. Azumi is thinking that this individual is their outside interference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 That definitely seems that way. I think Crystal might speak up and just Doctor, in your experience, I just want to cross-reference. Have you ever come across um a case of DID that has similarities to this? As far as my research shows, this is very abnormal.
And they kind of pause before they shake their head and they say, "No, this is indeed a strange case."
I think she also chimes in at this point. I told my therapist about this too. He thinks that it might just be just a normal nightmare, and this boy might be just represent stress or something. But I don't know. I just have such a bad feeling about this.
Hmm. Do they
It's
resemble anyone you know in real life?
She thinks for a minute. I'm kind of, but not. No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
Considering the nature of DID, it is entirely possible that you aren't the one with that memory, so don't feel bad if you can't remember anything related to that individual.
Mhm. She nods. Yeah, I've started to get some of my memories back. Ever since I woke up, and Lyra was helping me out a lot. She remembers a lot of the stuff from when I wasn't around, that I wasn't around for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep any sort of communication between your alters?
She nods. We started keeping a journal. My therapist said that it might be a good way to uh, especially help with memories when one of us is fronting and the others aren't. So for the stuff we're not around for. Um, but I looked over the journal and I couldn't see any clues about why they might be gone. So that's why I think that strange boy might be behind it somehow, if he's really real.
It's not unheard of for alters to merge, but they don't disappear as much as they become merged. This definitely does not sound like that case.
She nods. Yeah.
Professor leans toward Azumi and as quietly as possible mouths the word quarry.
I'm
in the middle of the game. What's up?
Azumi kind of
Probably a couple
I think it
more
would be
hours.
hilarious if he does this. Azumi just kind of fucking
I'll tell you when I'm done,
mind
okay?
links.
Uh-huh.
And he's just fuck, what does he say? I had it and then I lost it. I think he says it would be a bit odd if someone had a quarry and then did not know about it until their teenage years.
No, I mean more along the lines of perhaps a quarry is not that she's a Kalashtar, but that instead she's not, and there is a quarry messing with her dreams.
That is definitely more possible. I suppose we can't rule it out entirely.
It's odd. It does. I don't think I can, like you said, rule it out yet.
Hey Kit.
Yeah.
While this telepathic conversation is happening, in front of everyone else, mind you, can inmate pass over I forgot what it's called. The you know those notes on a patient?
The medical
Oh.
charts.
Yeah, medical charts. There we go.
Yeah.
To Crystal, because Crystal's also a doctor.
Yeah. They can definitely pass them over. Yeah.
They're gonna do that.
Yeah, Crystal's gonna take them, see if she can find anything, if there's anything unusual, like particularly unusual from them, that stands out that might explain this. Do you want me
Let's.
to roll anything for that?
I'd say, maybe just roll straight intelligence.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. God, I love your intelligence modifier, Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's a +5 to intelligence. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And Intcaster.
Yeah. I can see you as the brain cell in this party.
Yeah.
It's why all of her other stats are so bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
explain it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you look through the charts. I'm gonna say that this is probably like just the ones that they've had for when her stay at Villestown. They probably don't have the ones from like the previous hospital that she was kept at. Those might be like in a filing cabinet somewhere. But yeah, I think there's under symptoms. There's probably mentions of like erratic behavior at one point, and that was
Yeah. While the other notes would be useful, I think Crystal's also not going to hold them in that high regard if they can't even tell what DID looks like.
Oh, absolutely. There might even be a note on there that like misdiagnosed with lunacy or something like that. But there's also probably a note under there to like please disregard.
Yeah, inmate like has written something. Sorry.
No, please, please.
Inmate is so fucking angry about that.
As they should be.
Like, you dare call yourself doctors?
Yeah, no, they absolutely should. No, the people at the previous hospital, like, they did not have, like, the modern, like, definitions and, like, knowledge of, like, mental illnesses, so it's a very good thing that she was brought here when she was.
They're a good century and a half behind everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
At least.
This is hilarious. You want to know where Inmate is from originally?
Where?
Faruma.
Makes sense. I'm gonna say, like I said, it's more rural part of Faruma, so, like, it's a pretty big country, I assume, so.
Yeah. Faruma's,
Yeah.
like, easily sized.
Faruma is also in...
Mhm.
Well, it's very weird, the level of technology they have across the country.
Right.
Across the continent.
In my mind, Inmate's from a probably more advanced than the rest of Faruma City, so, like...
Oh, definitely, yeah. I will also
Not
note,
necessarily represented.
So, aside from the symptoms, there is also a note about, like, her, like, in a section for, like, emergency contacts, family members, that all sort of stuff. There'd be mention that both of her parents are deceased, and that the person who admitted her, who is the main contact for medical assistance and stuff, is her aunt.
Okay. That's the line of questioning you want to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a little bit about DID, and so I'm sort of transferring that knowledge across to Crystal, in that oftentimes it occurs from a significant childhood trauma that has occurred, and
That is
if she's
correct.
got deceased parents, then that's sort of the thing that Crystal's leaning towards might have caused it. So I think she's probably going to want to bring that up, because unfortunately, like, even though, like, it's the DID is tied to this, or, like, whatever's happening, so the more information about that, the easier that might make everything else. So yeah, I think she's just going to look up and if you don't mind me asking, what happened to your parents? She's just gonna be blunt about it.
Yeah, she definitely goes quiet for a few moments, and it made you feel her squeezing your hand a bit tighter again.
Professor gives her a look like, dude.
What? Like, she's gonna be blunt. There's no easy way to put that.
I think it just...
kind of... Oh.
No, you can go. Yeah.
Azumi just kind of sighs, because I also know quite a bit about DID, but, like, he kind of just sighs, and I don't know if he would say this out loud, probably on the mind blink, and he's just... Well, there was probably a better way to phrase that.
Actually, I think she's kind of gone quiet for a bit, but, like, at first she was, like, kind of tense and, like, nervous and whatnot, like, because this is a very sore subject for her. But I think eventually that expression kind of melts into one that's a bit more thoughtful and focused, like she's trying to remember something else. Like, and then eventually she says, Actually, no, maybe that's what it... Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. There's something else I saw in the dream. Maybe that might have to do with the strange boy with the horns.
Sorry?
Well, it was something I saw, a couple of things. There's this book I found. It told the story about this girl who made a deal with the devil to, so that she could be wealthy and have a happier life. And I think that's right. The letter. I can't believe I almost forgot about it. There was this letter. It was torn up into pieces. I had to find each piece as I went through that place. But I think it was a letter my mother left for me, and it was something about a devil. Maybe that's who that boy is.
I am
Ooh.
hoping that this does not mean that your mother made an actual deal with a demon or devil, but,
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much of that dream was real or not, but she gave up something. I wish I could remember what that letter said.
hmm.
I think that's going to be enough to spur Crystal to because Crystal also has identify, and
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she that might spur her to ask her. Do you mind if I promise it's nothing harmful. It's just it will help me see if there is any magic on you.
She nods. She'll hold her arm out. It won't hurt, will it?
No, it definitely should not. If it does, you tell me right away.
Okay. And she'll hold her arm out and let you cast the ritual. So.
Yep, she's casting Identify. Do you want me to post the spell?
Yeah. Actually, I can do that. I have the command for it.
Cool.
There we are. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or somewhat other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. And if you instead touch a creature, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. Alright, so I'm going to say after the minute passes, what you see, it's a bit bizarre because there's a lot of magic here, but it's kind of tangled up, it would be the best way to describe it. It's like a whole bunch of spells got thrown in a blender and mixed together into this mess of magic. But what you can pick out specifically are the spells Demiplane and Dream.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep.
That
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's definitely got a raised eyebrow from Crystal. The
Mm-hmm.
just probably in a bit of a tight voice. Professor, remind me what you were doing here again.
Oh, I was looking for a dimensional anomaly.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Um, you have a lot of magic tied to you. I can't figure out everything. It's a little bit too tangled up, but I was able to identify the spells Demiplane and Dream.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think there's that kind of a pause as she tries to kind of make sense of all this. And that's a bad thing, right?
Well, that's a potent combination at the very least.
Hmm. Well, I don't
Suffice
know.
to say, I don't think your dreams are
Meaningless.
entirely of your mind's creation.
I see. And I don't know how to cast magic either, so I guess someone else must have done something to me then. Is that right?
Yes, of probably fairly high skill level too.
Hmm. Well, in that case, what should we do about it? Is there any way to fix this, or She shakes her head. Sorry, I don't really know much about magic, so
That's all right. Hmm.
Well, I do have access to dispel magic and remove curse, but there's no guarantee that will. With how complicated that was, I'm not expecting that to be a valid solution.
Well, I guess we could always try. At worst, it just won't work, right?
This Crystal is silent for a long moment before, nodding because, last time she tried to cast, remove curse, it definitely backfired.
Mm.
Inmate kind of glances over to Crystal and I think I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna get up and just go to retrieve some I guess there should be like a first aid kit nearby, wouldn't there?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Look, they don't know much about magic, but if they're doing remove curse, ooh boy.
Better to be prepped for the worst, whatever may happen.
Yeah, so they're going to grab one and come back and hold the patient's hand again.
All right. So, yeah, Crystal, are you going to try and cast the spell on her?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one out of Dispel Magic and Remove Curse is probably the better one to go with. I think, because the spells that she saw were not curses per se.
Yeah,
But
dispel
Dispel
magic would probably
Magic,
make the most sense in this situation.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think she'd
dream's not a
probably go with,
curse.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think she'd probably go with Dispel Magic, which I can put in the chat if you'd like.
Yeah, if you want to toss it in
How do
there.
you do the command thing?
It's exclamation mark spell and then the name of the spell.
Yeah, how high are you gonna cast it? Because I know Dream is a 5th level spell.
Well, yeah, well the thing is that she can only upcast it to level to the 4th level.
There's a thing about it doing a spell check though, isn't there?
Yeah. Like she only has the ability to guarantee any 3rd level. Sorry, like if she upcasts it to 4th, like if she upcast it at 4th level, then it would guarantee any 4th level spell or lower. But if it's higher than that, then she'd still have to make the ability check.
Right.
So
Right.
I think that she might just cast it at 3rd level because it's still going to be too high for her to like guarantee.
Yeah. So, do you need to grab that, or should I grab it for you? Or there, you got it.
I
Okay.
got it. Yeah.
So let's see this. So 10 plus the spell's level. Okay. So using your spellcasting ability. So, so would that be Arcana, or would that be like a spell attack roll, that sort of thing?
Spellcasting ability is the stat that you use for
right, your casting modifier. So
yeah, so that would be intelligence, which is a plus 5.
You just did it, so +5, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So make a spell. I guess I'll make a spell casting check. Yep. Ooh. All right.
Uh-oh.
Hmm?
Ooh.
Okay. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm gonna say you're not able to dispel the spell. However, I want you to roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, good fun. All right.
Yep.
Oh.
Alright, that's pretty decent. Let me find what your modifier is.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I forgot your saving throw for this was really good.
Okay, that is very good. All right, so good news is you don't get any like ill effects from this. You don't get a headache or anything. However, you get this kind of like your vision goes a bit wonky for like a split second, and you see like kind of flash in your vision this image of like a yellow eye with like a vertical pupil like a goat would have, and it's a singular eye. And you hear in like your head. And just as quickly as it happened, it's gone. It's just like this flash that hits you and then it's gone.
Well, that didn't work. And there is definitely outside interference.
I think the patient kind of sits up in her bed a little bit and is like, are you okay, Dr. Crystal?
I'm fine. But that should have been enough to dispel it, and something overrode that.
Crystal did mention the demiplane, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, Azumi, you can't just hand me that.
What's he doing?
On the mind link, I think he says, yeah, he's just gonna say, I think our only option might be to find a way into that demiplane then.
Well, that's easier said than done.
Also, don't be fucking rude. Introduce yourself.
Priorities.
It's gonna kick your ass at some point. Maybe not during this campaign, but
yeah. I'm just gonna try to figure out, because he's probably gonna do it when he has something to say, but I've got to figure out. Okay.
Well, I have a suggestion if you want.
Sure.
You could try asking her name, because at this point nobody's asked this girl what her name is.
I thought we knew that she had no name on record.
Oh, right. Well, Crystal knows that. I don't think that inmate mentioned that to the rest of you.
that's right.
Yeah, that's why Crystal hasn't asked.
I think Azumi is going to dip his head a bit apologetically, and he goes, it's a bit late in the conversation for this, but is there anything we could refer to you by?
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself either. That was a bit rude of me. She kind of has kind of a hesitant little laugh. Well, I know some of the doctors were going with I think it was Jane Doe for a while, but the thing is I can't remember what my first name is. I know my last name, but well, my aunt said not to tell people about it. Something about a scandal. I'm not sure what it was. But I've been going by A, like the letter. It's the only part of my name I can remember, or at least I'm pretty sure it's part of my name. It feels like it. And I'd say do you think there'd be kind of like a nightstand or something that a patient can keep their personal effects in nearby?
I think that's normally the case, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna say for the sake of this, there was like a nightstand with like some kind of drawer to like put stuff in, so that people can't see it immediately. I think she kind of she reaches over to it, and like opens the drawer, and she pulls out this very ornate looking golden like pocket mirror, and it has one side of it has this like a rose kind of embellished on it, but on the other side it has engraved on it the letter A in a very fancy script.
Hmm.
I had this with me when I was in the dream too. It's my mother gave it to me, and I know it's really important for some reason. I think it feels like it's protecting me or something. I'm not quite sure what, but well, that's where the letter came from, I guess. And I think she'll kind of put it back in the drawer now.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the professor, by the way. Pleasure to meet you. And he extends his hand for a handshake.
Yeah, she'll shake it. Honestly, I think like with everything that's happened, she probably didn't even realize that like you had to introduce yourself at this point.
Crying. That's
Yeah.
the introduction of a goddamn mess.
Crystal was well aware that the professor hadn't introduced himself, but she was like, "I'm ignoring you right now, so I'm I'm sort of deliberately not letting you introduce yourself."
I think she says, Professor, that's like a teacher, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right. Huh. Well, I guess in a way it's a good thing that Colette's not right here right now. She really doesn't like teachers. She told me all about how I guess we used to have tutors back home, but they were always really boring and stuff.
Oh, well, it's terrible to have a boring
You can't just say.
What's he thinking?
He's thinking, God, I wish Professor was boring right now.
Out of curiosity, did we still have a mental leak going?
You don't have it, but like the thing is that you can like control what like passes through that mind link.
Okay,
And he's
fair
not going to
enough.
say it.
Absolutely.
Doctor might. I don't know if Azumi would.
Hmm.
So, I guess back to the matter at hand. Is is there magic to look inside somebody's head? Sorry, like I said, I don't know much about magic or what kind of stuff it can do.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess I could go back to sleep again, but well, the nightmares don't always last that long, and I don't think I can control when I wake up. So, and plus, I'm not sure if I could do much on my own.
Okay.
Oh, hello, hello.
Hi, you cut out after
cut out.
I don't think I can do much.
That was the end of the sentence actually, so that worked out.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
The thing just sort of like glitched and garbled after that.
Yeah, no, she was just saying like if she did like fall asleep and like find a way back into the dream demiplane, whatever it is, that way she probably couldn't do
Yeah.
much by herself. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Professor looks thoughtful. He's thinking about something.
Crystal's at the moment in the headspace of, there are definitely ways you can do that, but I have access to none of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Azumi is just, I'm not gonna mind link with a stranger. What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
And even then, he can only do it with one person.
Yeah. Over the mind link, Professor says, like, the method that Yedo was experimental, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hmm.
Variation of dream, also.
It was a what?
A variation of dream.
That's right, because he's a Kalashtar and he can't dream, but this is specifically dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The professor's just like, oh, right. Hmm.
I literally don't know,
There-
guys.
There is one thing, which I think Professor will say to Azumi over the mind link. You can get into a demiplane if you know the nature of it and what's in it, even if you aren't the one that cast it. If you have somebody who knows it and you cast enter a demiplane that somebody else has cast.
Not a chance that any of us here has demiplane too, do they?
Well, not personally, individually speaking, but the Ellipsis is capable of such things. She's not in the greatest shape right now, though, I'll admit.
Yeah, Azumi kind of just takes a deep breath and lets out a sigh. He's just... I'd hate to put more strain on her.
Right. I would need her to come along, frankly, to make it work.
God, yeah, I really don't know, guys.
I'm gonna say either option would work for this. I'd say maybe the dream might be a little less risky. Well, it's still a bit risky, but
I don't have the
That's
thing
not an
for...
option.
okay, got it.
Yeah. I
Right.
don't have it anymore, is the thing, because, like, that was, one, experimental, two, Arata promised to give it back, and since it's after the events of that game, he gave it back already.
Right, gotcha.
It's gone and it was made for a different race anyway.
Fair enough. In that case, I'd say like maybe the Ellipsis might be your best call. I will say, however, she did mention that she seems to be able to enter the dream world when she's asleep, so you might not necessarily need to bring her along, inside the Ellipsis when you go into this. In fact, it might actually screw things up if you bring her along, because if she's kind of where the demiplane is connected to. Yeah.
I see. Well, I think Professor ponders for a while, and then over the mind link, he does say, I think I could probably rig something up that she could keep with her here that would transmit to the Ellipsis and allow us to enter the demiplane.
Sorry, I imagine that, like, just to keep things from being awkward, inmate is also, like, trying to keep a conversation, but they are bad at conversation.
I was actually gonna do a bit.
I also want to say Crystal has pulled out her spell book and is like flicking through it and and muttering with an increasing like level of frustration as she keeps running into no, that's not gonna work.
Right.
No, that's not gonna work.
I was gonna say, at some point, A leans over to Crystal and kind of whispers, Dr. Crystal, why do those two keep staring at each other like that?
Well, that's the thing.
They don't
Azumi
have to.
staring at Professor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never
Azumi
mind.
is smarter than that.
Yeah.
Crystal's response to that would have been, because they're weird like that, don't worry about it.
Does Azumi have an input into Professor's notion before he voices it?
Well, if we don't have any other options. he is not 100% pleased with it, but like.
Mm-hmm. All right then. Then out loud he goes, I think I might have something. I cannot personally cast demiplane, but I have a device that can. And if you give me a little bit of time, I could give you something, to hold on to, while you sleep, hopefully, generating, manifesting essentially the entrance to the demiplane,
Mhm.
and that we could connect to it and enter it by casting demiplane ourselves. It's a bit circuitous, but it should work.
Yeah, I think she nods and says, well, it doesn't seem like there are many other options at this point, so I'm willing to try anything.
All right. Professor glances at the others. Well, I need to go back to the device so I can actually make this. So
Yeah.
he just gestures at the door like, I'm gonna go. If you want to come to the demiplane, you should come with me. Obviously, you stay here. Take it easy. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.
Uh, she nods. I think before you guys go, she says, one more thing. If you are gonna go into that place, just a bit of a warning. Like I said, some parts of it are kind of scary and maybe a little dangerous. And I'm also not sure if we do find the other girls. I'm not sure how they're gonna react to you. I mean, if I'm there with you, it'll probably be fine. But just figured I'd warn you first.
We are strangers.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. That's fine. We can take care of ourselves. Thank you for warning us.
Mm-hmm. And I think at this point might be a good time for us to take a break because we've been going for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Right.
Yeah. And after the break, I think we'll jump into kind of going on this little trip. I'll also say that like as you're doing this, like you guys can have like however much time to like take a long rest, get your spell slots back, do whatever preparation you need to do before you guys go on this because it's not like you could even like wait a day like if you wanted because like it doesn't seem to be like I mean there's the matter of course her altars vanishing that's concerning but you do it's not like life or death right at this moment so you have time to prepare and whatnot.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably good in the universe if they take like at least a short rest, if not a long rest, because Professor is at least going to need a good portion of that time to rig up the thing he needs, and then deliver it to A.
Right. I'm just gonna say it's a long rest just for the sake of like everybody being back at full like once you go into this place. So all right, I'm gonna pause
Verbal.
the recording here and we're gonna take our break. All right, and we are back. So, you guys, we're gonna kind of skip ahead to when you guys are leaving for this. So, you've done all your preparation, you've had a long rest, you're all ready to go. I think you guys are probably all gathered in the Ellipsis. Out of curiosity, what's the item that A was given to a connector? I'm guessing is it a key to the Ellipsis or is it another item?
Nope. Well, first of all, I think it would be cool to roleplay Crystal seeing the ellipses because it's weird. But
Oh, absolutely, yeah. She's never been there before.
maybe she's been doing something else while she goes through her spells and she meets up with them now. But the item, because he will have delivered it to A. He has essentially taken the the main part of the telepathic circuit out of the Ellipsis's console. It basically looks like a big gem. Like it's the same cut as like the white Chaos Emerald. Like
Oh, damn it.
It's like kind of a classic
it's
diamond shape.
yeah, and it's fairly big. You probably want to hold it in both hands.
Mhm.
But he has it's basically like that and sort of the like piece of sort of high tech looking metal with a little bit of well, I mean it's probably closed up, but like some sort of technology that it's sort of set into. And basically all she just needs to do is while they're entering, needs to just like have her hand on it. So like it would be very easy to just like, okay, if you're gonna be asleep, we can literally just like have a small little strap that just holds your hand on top of the thing.
That'd work. Or alternatively, like she'd probably like if she sleeps on her back, she could just kind of have it cupped in her hands, like lying on top of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
Just Snow White-esque.
Very, yeah.
Definitely. No, that would be perfect for her, honestly. I mean, she has like the long flowing hair too, so
Just kind of got a big old diamond.
yeah.
So,
Do a bit.
oh
Of
yes.
course, yeah.
Inmate's still here. This is still their patient. I have like this feeling that like inmate's gonna give a glance towards Azumi, like kind of subtly asking if he's sure this is okay, and Azumi just gives like a placating hand gesture, like he's not entirely sure how to answer that because he has no idea what the fuck this is entirely.
Mhm.
Probably knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I want to see, does Professor pick up on this question from inmate? This silent question. Do you think, or should I roll for it?
I would roll insight.
Yeah, I'd say roll for it.
Well, I don't think my modifier's gonna cover that. That's 6. No,
Six.
he does not notice.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Nobody's sus of
Yeah.
you.
All right, that's fine. So he doesn't get an explanation.
They are just sitting here.
Mhm. Professor will have, at the very least, like explained the basics of what he wants A to do and what it is. Like it's going to transmit your mental data to the thing that's going to cast demiplane, so we
Right.
can get in. And he probably mentions that it's safe. Maybe not exactly what anything to back that up, but he will like say that. Like it's not gonna hurt you.
Right. I think A would trust him just because, like, these people are helping her out, and so.
He's the
Be nice.
professor.
It's literally just that inmate is a doctor. They take their job seriously, and they
Of course,
don't know
absolutely.
who the professor is.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
the fact that Azumi like seems to trust him counts
Mhm.
for a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Good. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and out of character. Oh, out of character, Professor will have like included some fail safes so that like the most it could do is like if there is like a humongous catastrophe, the most it could do is give her like a D4 of psychic damage before like shutting off because of a
Right.
failsafe.
Yeah, no, she'd be fine. So,
Hmm.
but the important question is Azumi going to be bringing Koro with him on this trip?
That's his emotional support dog. I have no idea.
If you want to, I'll say that Koro will be fine. Like, whatever happens to you guys, Koro will be safe because there's no way I'm going to hurt the good boy.
I think what would be funny is that if Azumi tried to convince Koro to stay, but Koro kept making like whining noises,
Aww.
protesting.
Aw,
Aww.
wants to come with.
Want to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
So, Professor will probably, Azumi is probably at the Ellipsis. It's pretty close to Leighton's house anyway.
Yeah.
And the professor will, I guess, probably like pick up Crystal from, I don't know, the library on his way back from the hospital.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
And
She probably would have left with a "there is no way you're leaving without me, make sure you come get me" kind of before they went.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so Crystal, the professor leads you up to a real kind red phone box.
Hasn't she been in the Ellipsis before when she had to check up on the professor after the vampires?
Oh, you're right. I
That is
totally
right,
forgot.
yeah.
You're right, she has. I
Mhm.
forgot.
Alright.
I don't know if she knows that it can teleport, but she
I
knows
don't think she does.
Mm-hmm.
she knows that it's at least a demiplane.
Yes, this is where the professor seems to live, and it is, you definitely know it's bigger on the inside and very weird.
Hmm. I
But
think her assumption is that that he's got something in there that they can use.
Yep, well, he goes inside, and the console looks like it does normally, except that one of the panels is like, it's got like big pieces gouged out of it because that's where he removed the telepathic circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So 1/6 of this console is very deconstructed. The rest is fine.
God, the comic that Crystal just handed me is doing some renovation, I see.
You could say that.
Sorry, that's a fun question that Azumi asked, just handed me. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out if he does say it.
Mm.
Because I don't think he doesn't. I don't think he knows that Crystal doesn't know. So I think he just kind of goes, "This doesn't hurt her, does it?" The ellipsis.
What, that?
He kind of just like makes suggestions. The console is like gutted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he like puts his hands out and shakes his head like, no, doesn't hurt her.
All right.
I think that's probably okay. Crystal's gonna make the assumption here of like you put things together in the. Oh, I was not aware this was a genus loci.
She's not exactly. But that is probably the most similar frame of reference that you would have for what she is.
Huh. No need to be cryptic.
This is by far the worst explanation you have ever given.
She just isn't. She's like a genius loci, but not. She's something else. She is a living being that looks like this and does a lot of different things that I can't tell you. But and that makes her very similar to a genius loci, but it does not actually make her a genius loci.
Azumi kind of like looks in Crystal's direction with a silent like, you see what I have to deal with?
Yeah, she's currently like, you can tell from her expression she's kind of torn from I am not satisfied with that answer, and now is not the time for us to be discussing this, because yeah, we're supposed to be doing something else right now, but there's just no, I want to know more.
Professor is just going to like go around the console and start flipping levers, turning things on. You hear some beeps and boops and noises and like start up. And it's kind of noisy. More than usual, you would know, Azumi. And he does seem to be being a little more careful than usual. But he ends up at one of the panels, just sort of like monitoring some sort of output. And he puts his hand on a switch, and glances up at the other two, and he says, "You might want to hold on."
I should probably roll an intelligence for Crystal right now.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Azumi just kind of like picks up Koro under one arm and then like find something to hold on to.
Yeah, mostly the console. You're just gonna have to hold on to the edge of the console, really. Oh, an 8!
Oh.
Oof.
I don't know if she's gonna hold on to something with that either, because like she hasn't put it together. Like, she's so confused right now.
I don't think she is, because and there's not a lot to hold on to, so I think it's gonna be a little too late. Because the ellipsis, there is a very loud sound as she takes off, and the center column goes up and down with sort of mechanical wheezing and groaning noise. And the floor jolts. Hey, you're gonna. I'm gonna just once ask everybody to do a dex save, but Professor and Azumi get advantage because they are holding on.
God for that advantage, because he got a 2 on the first one.
Ooh.
I'm a little bit sad she didn't fail that.
Yeah, no. That'll make it. Thanks.
Sorry, I had to close the inmates sheet because they're not here anymore.
Oh yeah, that'll be totally fine. All right, so Crystal probably stumbles for a second, but then you sort of fell in the direction of the console, so you're able to grab it and hold on to it. As the floor kind of bucks a little bit and like slides in one direction, as if like the rug is being like pulled from beneath your feet, before it smooths out, and the noises get a little quieter, as it seems to be like, all right, the bumpy part is over. It's going more smoothly now. And I will hand it off to Kit.
Alrighty. So yeah, the ellipsis is going for a little while, but eventually she lands, and let's see. I'm gonna have you guys, when you open the door, maybe roll a perception to kind of get a lay of the land.
Yeah.
I will mention, as soon as the ellipsis lands, Crystal's first comment is, "You could have told me that the pocket dimension teleports before we took off."
I thought I said it can cast. I said it can cast demiplane. Did I not say we were going to cast demiplane?
You did not mention that the entire place you live in can cast demiplane. No.
Well, I thought it was implied. I thought I implied it.
Yeah,
All right,
well,
perception.
maybe next time, say it outright.
Yeah, all right, fine, whatever. Okay, I did that. The math is wrong. Let me. I did 1 + 9 + 4 instead of 19 + 4, which is what I actually rolled. Okay.
All right. Okay, so we got a 23, a 12, and a 21.
Mm.
Okay, so you guys exit the ellipsis, and you guys are in a large room that it's very dimly lit. There's candles all over the place to kind of like provide a little bit of lighting. The whole room is made out of like this very weathered cobblestone. It looks very old, like this place has been around for a very long time.
Mm.
There's a couple of small windows that have like a little bit of light filtering in. But they're a bit small and high up, so you couldn't really see through them. And there are along the walls there are 4 doors on one on each of the 4 walls. And with those rolls, I'm gonna say Professor gets this. You hear from the door to the west. You hear a voice, like someone is talking in that particular room. And another extra thing, Azumi, you glance down at the ground, and the ellipsis is kind of like landed right in the center of the room. You see that there are like these little gemstones kind of embedded in the floor at like different points, like in the sort of circle at the center of the room.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of notes that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna relay that to the rest of the party.
All right.
Yeah. Professor will like glance at that briefly, before like being like visibly at attention, and like start walking towards the west door. I think I hear somebody. So he's gonna take the west door, I guess.
All right. You gonna open it up?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you guys open up the door. Let me grab the thing for this.
Wow.
All right. So you guys open up the door and you see a few things. Let's see. So there's more cobblestone in here. There's also like a few vines kind of like embedded in the cobblestone, and some of them have these like pink roses growing out of them.
Okay.
Oh, hello?
Bronze embedded in the cobblestone and something?
And vines,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, there's like vines
I
kind of
heard
growing out of like
vines.
cracks in the cobblestone, and there's like some
Kit.
pink roses.
Oh, no, we lost Kit.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the worst thing about like when the internet drops is that like when it reconnects automatically, like I have to like drop out manually for to like actually let you guys hear me. Yeah. Anyways, so
Okay.
yeah, so you see the room.
Bronze inlay and vines or something?
No, there wasn't anything about bronze inlay. I was saying that the vines were kind of like growing in the cracks of the cobblestone.
Okay, I completely misheard then.
Yeah, and then like some of the vines have these pink roses, growing out of them. Yeah, and let's see. With your perception checks, I think Azumi and Prof would probably notice this. You guys glance down at the floor, and there's this sort of dark red stain on the floor. You think it's probably dried blood. But aside from that, the most notable thing in here would be that there is a large mirror with a full-length mirror with a golden frame attached to the wall, and standing in front of the mirror, kind of somewhat like frantically knocking on the frame of it, you see this person.
Hey!
Yeah, that is indeed A. However, she looks a little bit different from the last time you saw her. Not only does she have a different outfit now, but she looks considerably younger than she was. You'd say, like, probably early teens at the oldest. And yeah, so she's knocking on the frame of this mirror, and she's saying, Angelique, come on, please answer me. I know you have to be there, please. And then I think she stops like when she turns and notices you guys, and she says, "You all made it!" And a smile kind of lights up her face.
Yes, hello.
Azumi waves.
Yeah.
Hello, A.
I'm so glad you guys are here. Was the trip okay? Are you all right?
Oh, it was fine.
Crystal is glaring at the professor right now.
Azumi's
Sorry, I was gonna say Crystal will say, well, it got us here in one piece.
Well, that's a relief. I'm glad the plan worked.
Yes. He sort of like scuffs his foot on the floor, like, do you know what this is from?
She kind of like winces a little bit and that if well, it's not my blood at least but when I first came here when I was comatose it was fresher and she kind of glances over to a corner of the room and I'm gonna hit a little bit of a content warning for this part because you guys see what looks like it takes you a bit because it's like something like kind of like a long like little object. But as you look a little closer, you see it is a finger with very pale skin that has started to rot a little bit, and notably one of the fingernail on this finger is has like a bright golden nail polish on it. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I didn't find this out till later, but Angelique was the one who left that there, and I'm trying to get in contact with her, and she gestures over to the mirror. Usually it works. I just have to knock on the mirror 3 times, but well, she kind of winces again. I think she's been avoiding me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is she okay? Since she lost her finger.
Well, her hand was all bandaged up when I found her the last time I was here, so I think that part's fine. I think what happened was she tried to go through the mirror and she got it cut her finger that way. And she goes back to the mirror and kind of puts a hand on the surface of it. It's strange though. Mirrors in here sometimes they're solid, but sometimes I would touch on them and I'm gonna roll a dex save for her real quick.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, that is an 8. Oh boy. So yeah, she puts her hand on the mirror and kind of puts a little pressure. And as she's saying that, she trips and she falls through the mirror. Fortunately, there is no like shards shattering or anything. She just falls through it as though it were like water or something.
Oh, stars.
Yep.
Mhm.
Professor's gonna
I
follow.
Yeah.
her following.
All
Make
right.
sure she's alright.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys, you touch the mirror, and your hands also go through without any resistance, so you're able to step through the mirror. And what you kind of have to step carefully because poor A is like kind of falling on the floor on the other side.
Professor will help her up.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And where you guys are currently, it's definitely a lot more surreal than the previous room you were in. It's well, there aren't really walls around you. It kind of looks like a black void all around you, but the ground beneath your feet, it looks like a red velvet carpet. Like, you might have like at a fancy red carpet event or something.
Mm.
The odd thing about it is, it looks not. It's all you think it's like almost toonish in a way. Like how certain areas in Inkwell have more of a toonish kind of aesthetic to it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it almost looks like it was either like painted or drawn in crayon. Is the best way to describe it.
Oh.
Yeah. And but what's even more noticeable is that stretching along this sort of pathway with this rug, you see there are more mirrors along this kind of hallway. They're all different shapes and sizes. They're all just kind of like floating in this like empty space as next to the carpet.
Hmm. How
Hmm.
interesting. Is this usually where you end up when you go through that mirror?
Um, Not the last time, but oh wait, no, I know what this place is. And she runs over to look into one of the mirrors and says, oh, it's just what I thought. Angelique used this to communicate with me the last time I was here.
Hmm.
Uh, I wonder." And she touches the mirror in one of the mirrors in front of her, and sure enough, her hand goes through, and she kind of lets out a delighted little gasp, like, "I knew it! Oh, this is good. This can help us get around here more easily.
Hmm.
These mirrors,
A sort of hub?
I think so. There are mirrors all over the world, and if we can access these, then we can travel around more quickly. Oh, that's good."
Mm-hmm.
And let me check my notes here. Um, okay, I'm gonna
Professor, a person who can appreciate a bit of fast travel.
absolutely. Yeah. I will also say, if you want to do like a quick thing, if Professor wants, like he could, because now you know where this area is. If he wants to move like the ellipsis to like this area, we could just do that as like a quick off-screen thing.
Hmm. Uh, moving it inside the demiplane. Wait, it's a demiplane though. I think as long as he tells A that he's gonna try to move his box here, then since it's kind of linked to her mind, he can probably do it without too much trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna say out of character, you do it without any trouble. So it's just more so you can access the ellipsis more easily because, as you correctly guessed, this is sort of a hub area for you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So
That's good.
yeah. So once that's all taken care of, I'm gonna have everybody roll investigation.
Investigation, you say?
Yeah. Having Azumi roll investigation. Surely this can only lead to good things.
Well, I hope it does, because Professor is not being especially helpful in this regard. Your rolls have been absolute shit, my man.
Man.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh dang. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say you guys are all investigating different mirrors. So, Professor, you find a mirror that is, it looks like the other side is very blue, and as you look more closely, you can see that the entire area behind the mirror is, like, completely flooded. Like, it's all just covered in water. And,
Mm.
theoretically you could go through it, but that would probably be a bad idea because, well, even if the water stays on the side of the mirror when you open the pathway, so to speak, you'd probably drown instantly, or at the very least have a bit of a difficult time.
Yeah, he can't see the surface from where he's at.
No, it just looks like the room is just completely underwater.
Ugh. Yeah.
All right. Crystal, you find a mirror that is, you can't see what's on the other side because wherever it is, it's pitch black. It is like it's probably not normal darkness. You get a feeling this is magical darkness, and you get this kind of sense of dread from looking in here. Like you think that if you do check this area, you should probably save it for last because there might be something dangerous in here.
Yeah, I think she wants to like actually, you know what she's gonna do is with that I'm gonna roll hammer space. Yep, okay. She's gonna pull out her notebook again and she's going to quickly sketch out this room with all of the doors along and sort of like mark things on the side so that they can keep track of where they've been.
All
It
right,
may not
good
work
call.
because of demiplanes and dreams can be
Right.
loose, but
Mhm.
it might be useful to keep track of. So yeah.
Right, no, that's a good call. And I'm gonna say Azumi because you rolled the highest. You see, it looks like possibly some sort of closet where they would keep like dresses and stuff, and like sewing things to repair dresses, that sort of thing. The walls in there are very pink. It's a very kind of girly looking room. Um, but this one looks like it would be safe to go into. Do you want to bring it up with the rest of the group? What you found?
Yeah, I think he kind of turns and he kind of says, "What about this one?" And he gestures to it.
Ava will go and take a look at it, and she'll think for a minute and say, "Oh, I think I know this one. Oh, this is good actually. This is somewhere in Lilibet's castle. I think it's actually close to the ballroom, which is like right next to the throne room. That's good. Maybe we can, if we go in here, then maybe we can find her and ask her what's been going on in here."
Well, might as well. I think this other one is going to be difficult unless any of you can breathe underwater.
Mm.
Mhm.
Not particularly well, no.
Mm.
Hmm.
Give me a moment. I'm marking down the area. So yours is 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you said it was underwater, and
Seems to be.
yours,
That's strange. I
and
don't remember
yours.
anywhere being underwater in here. I wonder if something changed in here.
Perhaps.
Hmm.
Yeah, Crystal's just taking the time to mark them all down, and she's muttering out loud to herself, so you can sort of hear what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
don't think this is a good one to go through, at least not for a while.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
Something feels off with it.
uh,
Dangerous.
Hmm.
well,
Um.
I can't see anything in there, but all right.
Hmm. Yeah, I think we should save it for last if we do go in there. Hmm.
All right.
So, you guys
Uh,
all want to go through the mirror?
yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay. So, yeah, you guys all go in through the mirror, and you end up in this the room that you saw. It's a little bit crowded in here, just because like there's a lot of like there's like hangers of dresses, and there's like a couple of mannequins set up, so you kind of have to squeeze through a little bit, but you can get in just fine. And at the back of the room, kind of behind where the mirror was, there is a door. However, you do hear a lot of noise kind of coming from the other side of the door. So if you guys want to like kind of crack the door open and see what's out there without like being seen by whoever's on the other side, you're gonna have to roll stealth. Or you also have the option to just like open the door, with reckless abandon.
Oh
I feel
boy.
like
Yeah.
Azumi would probably. You said there was noise from the other side?
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of people in there, and A did mention that there was some kind of ballroom in there, so there might be a party going on for all you know. But yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to like stealthily crack open the door to take a look, or if you want to just like open it up like just normally.
Azumi has pretty good stealth. Let me check.
I mean, I know Crystal's probably going to be on the cautious side, so I guess it depends on who gets to the door first.
Professor is going to like wait a moment to see if Azumi wants to do something, and if he doesn't,
All right. Azumi is going to like crack it open stealthily. I did remember that I gave him a feat that gives him expertise in stealth. Anyway.
Woo.
Nice. Alright, roll it.
What is your... Okay. That's a 19.
19, very nice. Okay, I'm going to say that is definitely more than enough. So, Azumi, you very carefully crack the door open, just enough so you can see what's in the other room. And sure enough, it is a big, grand ballroom. It's got, like, the shiny floors. There's, like, a big grand piano and some other instruments in the corner. There's one of those huge, sparkly chandeliers. As for the people in there, though, you see like a whole bunch of like glimpses of like orange and green, and as you like crack the door open a tiny bit more to get a better look, you see that this room is full of pumpkins, specifically jack-o'-lanterns. They've got like the little like triangular eyes and the little jagged mouths and stuff. There's a bunch of pumpkins lying around. They're just like normal ones, but there are quite a few of them who have sort of like bodies made out of these like spindly vines sort of woven together. And right now it looks like they're having like this they're having a pretty big party right now. There's like a couple of pumpkins are like playing to tune on the instruments. Some of them are dancing. A couple are swinging from the chandelier.
That is kind of leans back so that he can talk to the others, and he just goes. I think he addresses A actually, and he says, "Are pumpkins a usual inhabitant of this place?"
She thinks for a moment. Well, I did see a lot of them when I was going through. Some of them were some of them were kind of silly, but some of them said the strangest things. How many are in there?
A lot, and from what I can tell, making a ruckus in the ballroom. There's one on the chandelier.
How'd it get all the way up there? I mean, they don't even have like arms or anything.
You said that the limbs were made from like vines,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Azumi pauses, and he says, "Oh, they have limbs."
She looked very surprised to hear this. That's all the ones I saw were just like normal little pumpkins, like and she got like makes like sort of a circular shape with her hands.
Odd.
Out of curiosity, did you see any like toys in there? But not like normal toys, like toys that are people sized.
Would he?
He did not. He did not see anything like that. It was all pumpkins.
Absolutely. Okay. He shakes his head.
That's strange. Most of Queen Elizabeth's subjects are different kinds of toys, but not. I think something else changed here.
Have the pumpkins ever caused you any trouble before?
Not for the most part. Like I said, some of them were pretty nice, and a lot of them were really silly. But some of them would say strange things, and a couple of them said things that were kind of mean. I don't know. It's kind of different for all of them, I guess.
Well, shall we take a look? I don't know that we can. This is the first place we wanted to look at.
Right, and we'll have to pass through there to get to the throne room. Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna ask you guys: do you want to try and take the stealthy approach to kind of sneak through the room, or do you just want to like go out? Because you don't know if these pumpkins are hostile or not, and you've got kind of a mixed answer from A, so it's a bit difficult to tell at this point.
Yeah, Azumi doesn't trust like that.
Mm-hmm.
Professor will wait to see if the others want to sneak or not.
Yeah, I'm tossing up a couple of options for things that Crystal can do. And that's more dependent on what everyone else wants to do, sort of thing. So she's sort of gonna like gesture like you know, what do other people want to do? Because she has a couple of spells that she can use to help if necessary.
Mhm. How?
Considering,
Go on.
considering the fact that they weren't like this before, and he glances towards the door again, it might be in our best interest to try and stay hidden. We don't know what they might be capable of with limbs.
Quite. How far across do you reckon it is?
It's a bit of a distance, but like if you guys hug the wall, then like theoretically you could sneak by them.
More for a spell sense, like actually feet.
Yeah.
Good question. If you're, I think I know what you're thinking, like dimension door,
Mm.
like,
Mhm.
but again, let's see, you could definitely get there, from there, but like because the door to the throne room is closed, you wouldn't necessarily be able to get through the door. Or if you did, you'd have to make some kind of Arcana.
Kit, we cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. If you'd have to make some kind of Arcana roll.
We've lost our D. Kit.
I swear I'm going to stab my internet in the face. Anyway.
Oh, we can hear
hello.
you now.
Okay, so yeah, if you're thinking dimension door, then you could make it there. However, you are gonna have to like get to the door itself to like open it.
Well, yeah.
Right. And of course, you are gonna have to take a few trips because you can only do it with one person. So really, it's up to you if you want to like use your dimension doors for this or just risk stealth.
I have invisibility.
Ooh, that could work. Yeah.
Mm. Perhaps I could take A over there with Dimension Door and the two of you sneak.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds simple enough.
That could work.
All right. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna have us do a group stealth check, but with advantage. And it's gonna be a group one, so I'm basically gonna like add the total and like get like the mean of the total, basically. So add them all up and divide by 4, that sort of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, that was at advantage?
Yeah, with advantage.
Cool. All right. I was just trying to like I think I got to upcast invisibility. I was just trying to track that.
Okay.
You're not gonna fucking believe this.
What's up? Nat 20!
God.
Oh my god, Azumi coming in clutch yet again.
I have I have news as well.
Oh boy.
My modifier is not as good as Azumi's, but
Alright.
Get a net so
Two nat 20s, ladies and gentlemen. That is 2 nat
Ah.
20s, which is a very good thing because Professor got a 7 and A got a 6. So give me a sec to add all these up.
God, is
at least
7.
it's not that nat 1.
Oh my god.
Okay, so our stealth total. So our group stealth is an 18 then, which I think is definitely more than enough. Yeah. I think what happens is that like A is like kind of not expecting like the suddenness of the teleport. Even though she was like prepared for it, she's never really teleported like this before. So she might have like kind of stumbled a little bit and like almost let out a yelp.
Mm.
But I think like also the other two probably like shove them like through the doorway before anyone notices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a very quiet go.
Well,
Move.
yeah, it works out because you guys have to go through the whole room and you got nat 20s, and the rest of us just have to stealth for like 3 seconds while we go
Yeah.
through the door.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But yeah, you guys make it through there. Yeah.
Yay!
So, yeah. So now, currently, you are in the sort of like entryway area. It looks like probably an area kind of between like the ballroom and the throne room. Oddly enough, though, the walls are covered in like these pictures of it's like famous paintings, but like they have like cat ears drawn on them, or like the figures in them are cats. I think it will explain. This room. When I came here last time, there were a bunch of these butlers. They were all cats. Well, more like stuffed animal cats. I don't see any of them around here, though. As she's looking around, though, she also seems to spy something and just kind of goes over to it. And you guys will see it is a music box. Very ornate little music box. It's white with gold trim. She opens it up. It's got like one of those little ballerinas inside. And it plays a very soothing sort of tune. And she kind of sits next to it and just sort of listens to it for a moment.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I kept finding these all over the place when I came here. I don't know what it is about it, but something about it just makes me feel safe and kind of calms me down. So I always try to keep an eye out for them.
That's probably a good instinct to follow.
Yeah, yeah, especially because I'm not sure what we're gonna find in the throne room now. I mean, there are all these those pumpkins. I don't really know what's going on. I hope Lilibet's okay.
Mm.
And as she says that, you kind of hear that there are voices like in the throne room ahead. You all hear a bunch of cheering all of a sudden, and you hear one voice go like, "Yeah, I got her! I got her!"
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
That doesn't bode well.
yeah. I think A's probably gonna like head on over there now. You guys might want to follow after her.
Oh, yeah. Professor
Oh,
is
absolutely.
Yeah.
purposefully moving in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Crystal would have been like, "Hey, wait." And then just like right after, like, don't run ahead kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. Hold on, just grabbing something real quick.
Ooh boy.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys go into the throne room, and sure enough, there are more pumpkins in here. There's a few that are just like normal little pumpkins without any limbs or anything, but there are a few of them that do have the limbs. And all of their attention seems to be gathered around something that's up on the ceiling, and I'm gonna have you guys roll a perception for this.
Mm.
Modified 20.
All right. Okay, very nice. Yeah, so you all get this. So you guys, you look up the ceiling, and at first it looks like it's just like a bundle of vines, like specifically those pumpkin sort of vines that have like the big leaves on them. And actually, as you look around the room, there's quite a few more of those sort of like growing out of like parts of the room. It's kind of making a mess of things, honestly. But up at the ceiling, there's like a bundle of these, and there's something that's kind of swinging back and forth. You can't get a good look. It's a little hard to get a good look at, but as you're watching it, you see this. And I have spoiled it for Scopo for us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you guys see this.
Oh.
You see this little, what looks like some sort of doll that has like a big poofy red crown on its head, and it's moving. So it's definitely not an ordinary doll. It's kind of struggling and swinging back and forth on this vine. Meanwhile, down below, the pumpkins are like one of the pumpkins kind of rears its head back and spits a glob of pumpkin seeds and kind of pumpkin guts at it, at this doll. Let me roll, see what it gets. Hang on, where'd I have the Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so that'd be a +4. Oops, Sorry, that was the wrong one. Ooh, that is a 21. So I think that that glob of a pumpkin seed nails her right in the crown and almost knocks it off, but like it still stays on. But it looks like one more hit would probably knock the crown off. And there's a whole bunch more cheers from all the pumpkins surrounding it.
Grief.
Mm-hmm.
A. Is that Lilibet?
Yeah, A is staring up at this, just absolutely horrified, and she just got like the only answer she can give you is just this sort of numb little nod, like as she's just staring up at what's happening.
It's alright. We're going to get her down and away from them.
Oh, this is fucking wild what Azumi handed me.
Mm-hmm.
Can Azumi look around to see if there's a way to climb up there?
Let's see. I'm gonna say roll investigation on that. I will say currently where you guys are, this throne room is like a very long sort of room, but there's kind of like a little entryway area where like there's like a couple of little walls, which presumably you guys are kind of peering out from behind.
How far away is Lilibet currently?
Pretty far. Like, you definitely, even if you like were able to fly up there or something, you wouldn't be able to get up there without like being seen, because she's like all eyes are on her right now.
Yeah, I mean in feet though.
Sorry, it's hard for me to like just mentally calculate this. How many feet are you thinking of, like whatever you're trying to do?
I'm not trying anything yet, but Crystal does have the spell Levitate, which has a range of 60 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's like just a bit out of range for you right now.
Mm.
So yeah, Azumi, you're looking for places to climb up. There are columns, kind of like all over the room. Theoretically, you could like get onto one of the columns to climb up and grab her, but these are like sheer columns. It'd be very, very difficult to get a foothold on them because it's just like straight stone, and you definitely wouldn't be able to do so without being seen.
He's stupid enough to try. Kit,
Mm-hmm.
you know the game.
I can also say he is still invisible right now, because
That
Crystal
is
still got
true.
him up.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, roll me a stealth with advantage.
It's 28.
Okay. And now I'm gonna have you. So yeah, you're able to sneak in. Nobody hears your footsteps. I'm gonna say now you have to roll. I think this would be acrobatics to climb up there, but it's gonna be at disadvantage because again, this is something very difficult to climb on.
Wish me luck, gang.
Mm.
He probably mind linked with Prof right before he left. Like, I'm going to get up there, and didn't wait for a response.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Don't make me come get you.
Sorry, I keep
I
dropping.
love that this. Sorry, I was just gonna say I love that this means that Crystal and A have no idea what Azumi's doing because he is still invisible.
Yeah.
That's a 15.
15. I'm gonna say that's just barely not enough. The DC for this was pretty high. You're like clinging to the column, trying to get up there, but you just keep sliding down. You can't figure out a way up.
Okay. Okay, so his two options are to either try again or to create a scene to get attention off of her.
I will also say, now that you're further into the room, roll me another perception.
Okie doke.
Yep. Okay, 25. Very good. Okay, so yeah, you're able to get a better look at the room, because again, this is a very long room, so it's was hard to see it from the entryway. You see, like at the opposite end of the room, there is a very big, ornate throne, and you suspect that like this is probably where Lilibet would normally sit. But currently, there is somebody occupying the throne, and it is this person.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How far away am I from Prof? I'm like within 100 feet, right?
Yeah, I'd say 100 feet. You're 100 feet in now, so.
Okay, so I'm just in the range of mind link. He kind of takes a moment and presses himself against the column so that like none of the pumpkins accidentally brush against him.
Mm-hmm.
And on the mind link, he goes, "I think I just found our culprit."
Hmm.
Boy with horns, yes.
Mm-hmm. Professor will tell the others. Azumi seems to have spotted that fellow with horns on the throat.
Right. I have a way that we could potentially get Lilibet down, but it will be very obvious, and I'll have to drop invisibility to do it.
Well, he asks over the mind link Azumi if he's having any luck getting any further.
Can I roll again just to see?
What are you rolling again?
Acrobatics.
Sure, go for it.
Here we go.
Yeah, because if Azumi can't get any progress, then he'll tell Crystal to probably try her thing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just have to be ready.
17. I think you get a little bit further up, but you don't get all the way with that roll, so you're kind of halfway up this column now.
Well, I'm halfway up there. If nothing else, I can make a distraction.
All right, Crystal wants to try something, but it's going to be obvious, and you won't be invisible. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's perfectly all right.
All right. Professor just like turns to Crystal, like Azumi's giving us the go ahead.
All right. I'm planning to cast Levitate, which means that I won't be able to do much else. But I should be able to get her to us.
All right. You'd better stay by me. I guess we'll see what happens if they decide that they don't like us messing with their setup, then we'll deal with that.
All right. You seem to be able to talk with Azumi somehow. Can you let him know that I'm going to drop invisibility?
Mm-hmm. And Professor will do that.
Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah. So Crystal's going to drop invisibility, and
Important
she's
question:
going.
is Azumi still halfway up the column, or did he get down?
He's not coming down.
Okay.
He's trying to help cause a greater distraction so that Crystal has a better chance at doing what she needs to do, basically.
All right.
And being halfway up the column sounds like a good way to do it.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna say, all right. Let's see. So you drop out of invisibility, and quite a few of the pumpkins notice you very quickly, and they're all kind of yammering away, like, "Oh, what's that up there? Who is that? Oh, new guest? Who is that?" And I think all of the chattering is immediately put to a stop as the figure sitting on the throne raises that staff that he's holding and kind of bangs it on the ground a couple of times. And he says, I see. We have a new guest amongst us. Oh.
Hello, sorry for dropping in, except I haven't exactly dropped yet.
Do you need some assistance with that? Because if so, I'm sure my pumpkins would like a bit of extra target practice.
I have a better idea. I hate what he just handed me, but he's not handing me anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Azumi's unholstering his gun.
Oh my gosh.
He's not trying to hit anyone in specific, but he's trying to see if he can like aim at the ground, like at a spot on the ground where nobody is, to sort of scare them and cause a commotion.
I'm gonna say, because you're kind of doing this one-handed, because you're clinging to this column. You're probably gonna have to make this whatever your attack at a disadvantage, and you're gonna have to roll another acrobatics to not fall off. Is that all right with you?
That is perfectly fine with me. Azumi is stupid, and I was expecting this.
Yeah.
Over the mind link, Professor gives him like a displeased noise.
Please let this be enough. Oh, what is your modifier? Shit. Okay.
So that's the attack?
Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to fire off the gun without it like backfiring or anything like that.
And it was another acrobatics?
Yeah. And also with disadvantage, like the first two, so.
Oh my god. Oh, please. Please.
16.
The other roll was an 18. Was an 18 on the dice. I'm just like, oh god.
Okay, you barely managed to hold on, but you're probably going to slide down a tiny bit.
That's fine.
And honestly, I think like some of the pumpkins recoil at the shot. Meanwhile, the boy with the horns, he just cackles at you like, "Hi, this one's quite a bit feistier. I like that. Certainly much more feisty than the little Missy was. But well, then again, that's not exactly a high bar to clear. Speaking of which, where is she, if I might ask?"
Fuck you.
Although that's not very polite. I mean, I haven't done anything to you yet, now have I?
Your smug aura sucks ass.
He just laughs at you again.
God, I hope Crystal's doing it right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's play with the crystal.
Yeah, so she needs to get a little bit closer in order to get a little bit down, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so she's gonna try and inch forward enough that she can, like, get within range.
Alright, so you do that. I'm gonna say roll a stealth, just like a straight stealth.
Yep. Okay. It might not
Well,
be
until
enough.
you cast levitate, you still have invisibility, right?
That's true.
So maybe
if she got into position before, then yeah.
Right. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna say stealth with advantage.
Alright, cool, thank you. Okay, that's better. Just, it might not be enough, but we'll see. 16.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna roll for the pumpkins real quick. Let's see.
God. I feel so tense. I am so tense. I hate Avery so much. Oh my god!
Yeah, pumpkins don't notice anything. However, there's another person in this room who has significantly better perception. So yeah.
No.
So yeah, I think his head like quickly snaps to face Crystal. Of course, you can't see this guy's eyes at all with the bangs covering his face. So I think he just like his head snaps in Crystal's direction, and he just kind of grins that with like that mouthful of sharp teeth, and is like, "Now, you weren't thinking of cheating at the game, were you? It would be so very droll if you were to ruin our fun."
Yeah, I think she's just going to ignore him and she's going to cast Levitate. Which unfortunately means that Lilibet's gonna if Lilibet is unwilling to be have the spell Levitate on her, she's gonna need to make a Constitution save.
Alright. Let's see.
If this doesn't work, Azumi handed me another dumb fucking idea.
Oh, whoops, forgot the R. Oh my god, that's not 20.
No!
Yeah, that's gonna make it.
Oof. Yeah, unfortunately, Lilibet is struggling so much. She's struggling so much that like she kind of slips out of the spell, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely gonna get a probably like fuck under her breath, like this is not going well.
Okay. At this point, I think A kind of sees that like things aren't going so well, so she is gonna run out there unless Prof tries to stop her.
I think he's just gonna come with her.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna stop her.
Fair enough. All right. Hang on, let me get. Right. So yeah, so A just she runs out into the middle of the room and shouts, "Stop it!" And
Okay.
oh, no, I'm back.
Alright.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, A runs out into the middle room and she shouts, "Stop it!" And all heads turn to look at her. And that menacing grin that the boy with the horns had, that just somehow manages to spread even further when he sees her. And he says, well, the guest of honor finally arrives. So good to see you again, little missy." And in the blink of an eye, he's no longer by the throne. He is right in front of her. And she's, let me do a dex save to see if she falls over or not. Let's see.
Professor is right next to her. So.
Okay. In that case, I think she stumbles back in surprise, and like probably Prof, you kind of catch her just in the nick of time.
I had another horrible idea.
Yeah, I will say he's not doing anything to her. It looks like he just like teleported in front of her to scare her, but he hasn't like grabbed her or anything.
Yeah. I just want to calculate something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I was halfway up the the column. About how many feet up is that?
I'm gonna say maybe like 20.
20 feet? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take that and do some calculations really quick.
Alrighty.
Going.
Now, what do you want?
Why, I'm just looking to have a bit of fun at the moment. I will say, though, little Missy, I'm surprised you managed to drag a few other people in here. I didn't think anyone would be willing to listen to those delusions of yours, and yet here we are.
I don't know, doesn't seem very delusional to me.
Oh, and how can you be certain of that? I mean, after all, you are currently in the mind of a madwoman. Who's to say
You're
anything in
standing
here
right
is
in
real?
front of me, mate.
Well, yes, but for all you know, I might be just another figment of her imagination, her fears personified. How can you be
Well,
certain
you're
if any
not
of
a
this is
figment of
real?
my imagination.
And I think at this point, A pipes up and says, this isn't just a dream. This is it's a demiplane, isn't? Oh, you know that word. I didn't think you had such a vocabulary. Well, then again, you're more used to not having anything in that little head of yours, or as not even a single memory. I think at this point he teleports away and sits back on the throne.
Wow, what's your damage, lad?
Wait, did he actually say that?
Yeah!
Fucking crying.
Oh my god.
Change that question to how far away is the throne from the column Azumi's on?
It's considerably further away. I'd say like at least another 100 feet.
He could take 2d6 damage.
Okay, what you casting there, bud?
Here's the thing. I'm trying to do Pythagoras theorem.
Oh yeah?
To see how far Azumi can launch himself from the column,
Hmm.
and then cast Misty Step.
Oh.
Oh.
Misty Step only does 30, and like, if the guy hasn't done anything to like hurt anyone yet,
Yeah,
I
at the
might
moment, he's just
I
kind
might
of...
hold on to it.
Yeah, at the moment, he's just kind of been screwing with you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at Prop's quote-unquote question, I think he just like kind of starts cackling again at him, and all the other pumpkins kind of join in with him as well. Oh, I wouldn't say I'm the damaged one here. If anything, that'd probably be her.
Oh, yes. At least she's the one getting help for it.
Hmm. I think she just kind of smirks at that and doesn't reply. And I think at this point, A's saying, I what are you doing in my mind or this place or what are you doing to me? Oh, you don't know who I am yet. I would have thought you would have figured it out by now.
Well, can you explain?
I don't know if I want to. I think it's more entertaining if you figure it out for yourselves.
Oh, so you're a dick and a bitch.
He just starts laughing at you again. Oh, I like this one. And I think at this point, A pipes up, manages to pipe up again, and says, "Um, you, you knew my mother, didn't you? Oh, so you do remember. Hmm. And A nods, and she kind of shrinks back a little bit because she's still pretty scared of this guy. And she says, you made some sort of deal with her, didn't you? I don't know, did I? Again, he's just trying to toy with her again.
Oh, I've had it up to here with you. Let me make this incredibly straightforward. If you don't leave her alone, I'm going to burn you down.
I'd like to see you try. But I don't think there's any need for that. You're looking for answers, aren't you, little missy? Yes, I want to know what is all of this about? Why? Well, if you're looking for answers, didn't you find something the last time you were here? A certain piece of paper? Oh, what was it? A letter? Was that it? Oh, you wouldn't happen to still have that, would you? And I think A kind of reaches into the pocket of her skirt and kind of feels around for it. The only thing she finds in there, however, is the pocket mirror. Oh dear, you must have misplaced it. How unfortunate.
Guess we'll just have to go find it then.
I suppose you will. In fact, why don't we make a game of this?
Do we have to?
Well, you don't have to do anything, but wouldn't it be more fun that way?
Oh, game with you? I don't know. You seem like someone who'd be a sore loser.
Well, that depends on if I lose or not. But you could certainly have something stand to gain something if you win this particular game. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting my notes in order. Yeah.
Azumi just really just wants to drop kick this guy.
Yeah. Completely understandable. How about this? If you can find the pieces of that little letter again and bring them to me, then perhaps I might be more willing to tell you a bit more about dear Grace. Grace, that's my mother's name, right? That is very good. You do remember things, don't you? He just says very condescendingly.
Oh. On
Jeez.
the mic.
Yeah.
On the mic, like Azumi just goes, "Can I please just kill him?"
Oh, are you
Professor
sure?
just. Oh no, it's over the mind link.
Oh, it's over the mind. Like, never mind.
Yeah, Professor just like, I'm considering it.
That's not a no. Azumi's taking that as a win.
But in the meantime, though, I suspect you'll be wanting your little dolly back. Isn't that right? He kind of glances up at Lilibet, who's still struggling, and the vines wrapped around her. Oh, hello.
Hi. You just went garbly for a bit.
Okay, am I back now?
You are back now.
Okay, good.
You want something back, I assume?
A little bit, I think.
Hang on, I'll start again. In the meantime, though, I suspect you'll be wanting your little dolly back, isn't that right? And he kind of glances up at Lilibet, who's still struggling in the vines wrapped around her.
Yes, please, if you would.
Well, it wouldn't be much fun if I just gave her to you, so how about this? And he teleports in front of Professor and A again, and he holds out a dagger, and he puts it in A's hands. Let's see if you can hit her from down here. I'm sure it won't be any trouble for you, will it?
Why would she do that?
Why, to get her down from there, of course. Oh, hang on.
Hello.
I am screaming at my internet. Stop cutting me off.
There you are. Okay, I got the. We got the end of. Why don't you hit her from down here?
Right, yeah, Prof said, why would we do that? And the guy replied, why, to get her down, of course.
Oh, I've got a better idea. Can Azumi make another acrobatics check?
Go for it.
That's absurd. I'm not going to get her down by throwing a knife at her. There are better ways.
19, yeah, I'd say that's a successful.
He's getting up and he's trying to... How far is the chandelier from the column?
It's not chandelier, it's like basically just like a whole bunch of vines hanging from the ceiling, and one that's kind of hanging down that little bit is tied to.
Okay, worse idea.
Is he gonna jump
Tarzan.
Zip line. Are there any of the vines by?
I'm gonna say, just for the sake of awesome, that yes, there are. And with that roll, I think you can definitely swing over to her.
I was thinking zipline, like just taking his short sword and like doing it.
Sure, yeah, I'll say you can do that.
Yeah, he's gonna grab Lilibet. Or she doesn't mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like she can do much either way, but I think she definitely wants to get down from there, so.
I did not think about how he would get down.
I mean, Crystal can try levitate again if Azumi doesn't resist it.
Hang on, I want to say a thing. Hang on. I'll admit that was a rather impressive maneuver, but here's a question. How do you plan on getting down from there?
Easily. And he looks at Crystal as if trying to make eye contact, and then just drops.
Yeah, okay, she's gonna catch him with levitate.
As soon as he's like in 30 feet, I think he's just gonna cast the Misty Step from the short sword.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah. I'd say in that case you get down to the ground. And I think this guy kind of takes like a step back away from you. Not like fearfully, but just kind of like to casually get out of your way. And he's going to give you a little slow clap for that maneuver. Impressive.
Oh, stop being patronizing.
Don't you see, dear? We don't have to be violent and manipulative to get things the way that we want them to go.
Well, to each their own, I suppose. And out of curiosity, do you untie a little bit now that you're on the ground?
Oh, absolutely. Just trying to make sure she's all right.
Yeah, I think the moment you take the bindings like off of where her mouth would be, she immediately starts shouting like, "You wretched, vile cur! I shall have you hung from the rafters. I shall have you beheaded for this!" And she's just gonna keep ranting away like that, like just uttering these incredibly violent threats from this cute little doll.
I want you to imagine Azumi with like the colon / face as he's like holding her out.
Meanwhile, the boy with the horns is just like, "Oh, there she goes again. Now you see why I had to muffle her. So annoying."
Well, I think she has good reason to.
I wouldn't say that. In fact, I'd say this castle's a bit better off with a new ruler. You know, she was, despite her cutesy appearance, she was quite a bit of a tyrant back in the day, you know?
No, we don't.
I could not care about any of the words that you spit out at us with your stupid ass horns.
He's still just grinning at you guys. I think like once Lilibet is kind of like not quite run out of steam, but like kind of gotten that out of her system. I think she shouts like, "And what have you done with Colette?" Colette. Oh, who was that again? Oh, right, the ruddy little princess. I think last I saw her, she was hiding in that little dollhouse of hers. Um, I'm sure she's perfectly fine. Maybe. I can't really say for certain. Maybe she starved to death. Who knows?
Alright, better question. What's keeping me from kicking your ass right now?
Well, for starters, and he snaps his fingers.
Oh, god damn it.
And all the pumpkins in the room, like, they've just been kind of vibing and like watching the show and pretty jolly and whatnot. But the moment he snaps his fingers, like they all sort of stand at attention and like they are glaring at you and they kind of have like the glowy eyes going on. And there are quite a few of them. It would be rather difficult to fight all of them off, especially with A with you, like trying to protect her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Azumi, please stop handing me dumb shit ideas!
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't know. Hang on. I don't.
Okay, it's all right. I think I'll keep going with him. Okay, where was I?
I don't think Azumi looks like he cares is the thing.
Right. I mean, I will say A definitely looks a bit scared. Like she's probably clinging to prop at this point.
Oh yeah,
I think
he's being very protective.
Definitely.
Azumi's probably set a little bit down now that she's unbinded, and he is like stepping in front of her to make sure that like in front of A, I mean, to make sure that like there is definitely some distance between the boy and the
And the
A.
rest of them, yeah. All right. Yeah, I think he
I
said.
will say I've been kind of quiet, and that's not because that's mostly just because I haven't really like Crystal's been more focused on like trying to like keep track of like she's been ignoring him for the most part, honestly, like keeping track of the pumpkins and A and him and Lilibet and being like, all right, is then like running through her mind of is there something I can do to help like keep people safe right now if this does turn into a fight. Unfortunately, like there's not a lot of easy solutions for her, which is a little bit annoying, but yeah, like she's currently more focused on that than on him.
So, dear, is this the part where you run away and go do something malicious and let us do the thing that you want us to do, which is collect the pieces of that letter?
Well, maybe not. There was something I wanted to ask you all about, in fact. Perhaps we could help each other in a sense. You want me gone, and, well, I think there's something the little missy has been missing as well. Tell me, my dear, you haven't seen Angelique around here, have you? And she hesitates for a moment, and then she timidly says, "No, I haven't seen her yet." Oh, that is rather unfortunate. I was hoping to have a chat with her, especially about her recent behavior.
All right.
Are the most annoying person I have ever met, and I have met several insufferable people, this guy included, and he makes a gesture to Professor.
Yeah.
He just flashes a grin at him.
How very kind of you to say. But anyway, getting back to the point. I do believe Angelique has something of yours, something that you'd been seeking out the last time you were here. Certain golden something. What was it called again? Um, the regalia, right? Yes, that's it, the regalia. Yes. I believe when you left, you were still missing a piece, weren't you? Um, you know, Sorry. Hold on, words.
You also kind of got garbled partway through there.
Beans. Okay. Okay. Let me start again. Ah, yes, your regalia. I do believe she was holding on to a piece of that. How about this? I'm sure you'll want to go and check on the rest of those other girls. Ill-advised as it may be, they're really not worth the effort. But while you're traipsing about this world again, I don't suppose you could keep an eye out for Angelique. I mean, she has something of yours, and I'd like to have a chat with her. So perhaps it could benefit the both of us if you track her down.
And what exactly is it that you want from her?
Oh, nothing at all. I already have what I want. I've had it for quite a few years now, ever since her mother gave it to me in our little deal.
Alright, so why don't you just sod off then already?
Oh, but I'm having so much fun. Why should I do that? And I'm surprised you didn't ask what it was I had. What was it I took from her?
I kind of didn't think you would tell me.
Oh, fair enough.
You haven't been especially forthcoming up to this point.
Fine, then I'll spell it out for you, since the little missy can't seem to remember. Tell me, my dear, what is your name? And, she goes quiet because she doesn't have an answer for that, but then it all seems to click for her. She says, That's what you took, isn't it? Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought you were a demon, not fae.
Not a demon, devil. There's a difference.
Fuck off. Fiend all the same.
Mm.
At this point, I might.
Very well, then I'll spell it out for all of you.
I mean, you.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Sorry, what were you going to say?
She was gonna make a this guy up in pixie wings too.
What's he going to do?
Make a comment about dressing the guy up in pixie wings, but like, Crystal
Yeah.
is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, and what do you intend to do with it?
Well, to keep it, of course. It's mine, it's not hers, and, well, she won't have it anymore. Unless, of course, you could find the last piece of it, I suppose. That's what Angelique is holding on to.
Ah, that's why you want her.
Indeed. Well, that, and she's earned herself a little bit of discipline, but we don't need to go into that. Anyway,
You
I'm...
really have...
Oh.
You really have no plans for this name?
I might, but I'm not telling you. As we agreed upon, I'll give you a bit more information once you find the pieces of that letter, but in the meantime, you might want to get going. After all, you have no idea what state Colette might be in.
Did you want to say something, Avi?
I'm not, because I feel like Azumi's just been like bitching this entire time.
It's all right. Okay, I think
like,
Lil. I think
like,
Oh, sorry.
he's like this close from just taking his rapier and making a swipe at the guy. So I'm like doing everything I can not to have him do that.
Mm.
I think at this point, a little bit might chime in. It'd be like, unfortunately, he is right in a sense. We ought to get going while he's letting us.
Alright, so what's the way forward then?
I think a little bit will like lead you there to the back of the throne room where there's a doorway. And I should also note, every time Lilibet takes a step, there's a squeaky toy noise.
Right?
So you just hear squeak, squeak, squeak as she walks along.
No fucking flash.
As you all
Well,
follow after her, I think the last thing this guy says is, well, you all have fun with that. I'm sure we'll run into each other again at some other point. Ta-ta for now, though.
I don't have any weapons when we do.
Oh, actually, before you go, there was one question I wanted to ask you three in particular.
hmm.
I mean, you can ask.
He might not
Azumi's
tell you.
so fucking tired right now. He just wants to get it on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, don't worry, it's a very simple question. I was just wondering, do you three have any regrets? And whether or not you answer him, he's going to roll insight on you three. Oh,
Hmm.
oh darn it, hold on.
Ooh,
Okay, I think that's still fine. Okay, it just got bolded for some reason. So yeah, that is a 25 insight.
yeah, I don't think that I can even roll deception that high.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can. Give me a second. uh. Well, he didn't. That's fine.
Oh wow, dang, Azumi.
I would like you to know that deception is his best stat.
Yep.
Uh, and he says, actually, he smiles sickeningly sweet, and he says, I'm about to become one of your regrets.
Hmm.
I think he just
And
grins at Azumi and says, I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, on that was an 18 from Crystal. So okay, he
Mm-hmm.
definitely can tell like see through it, but like she keeps a fairly straight face, but yes, she definitely has a lot of regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
And how about you, Prof?
He just sort of like makes like he's thinking like, oh, like do I? Like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, putting on like a bit of a slightly sort of mocking like act of it before
Right,
he sort
yeah.
of like shrugs like, I don't know. But um he does. And,
Mm-hmm.
he has something in mind. Um, uh, that he can see through him. To see that, oh yeah, he does have something. He has at least one significant thing, if not
Mm-hmm.
more.
All right. So yeah, that's all it says. After that, he'll let you guys go, and I think that's going to lead you to kind of a room, sort of behind the throne room. It's a bit more dim in here, but there are some candle. There's a bit of candlelight. I think like once you guys are out of the throne room, she's kind of like taking her like long like sleeve arms and is kind of like trying to rub the pumpkin guts out of her dress. It's kind of muttered to yourself like, oh good heavens, this is going to take forever to get out.
Mm. Uh, what is it that's on her dress?
Pumpkin guts, basically, like pumpkin innards, because they were spitting globs of that at her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
real quick,
Mm-hmm.
um, Azumi is going to drop the cynical act and just immediately does a mental health check on A to make sure she's all right.
She definitely seems pretty shaken by that whole thing. I think also once you guys are somewhere safer, she goes up to a little bit and just kind of like picks her up and hugs her. I think.
In a similar vein, I'd like to do a medicine check on Lilibet as Crystal.
Of course, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty good. With 15, yeah, she's okay. Fortunately, she's unharmed. Her dress is definitely like a little bit messed up. Not like torn or anything. Unfortunately, there's no stuffing leaking out of her. She's just like a sticky mess, and there's like a few pumpkin seeds kind of clinging to her. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I need to roll whether she'll do this or not. Yeah, she's gonna cast Prestidigitation on her so it cleans off the mess.
Aw, that's nice. It's a good thing too, because some of the pumpkin guts were getting on a little bit as she was hugging a little bit. But I think after that, A is gonna say, oh, I'm so glad you're safe. I was so worried. There, my girl. I'm all right. Well, relatively speaking. And I think she kind of turns to look at you three and says, well, you have my gratitude for rescuing me like that.
You're welcome. I think up to this point, Professor had been kind of distracted, like muttering obscenities.
Yeah, understandable.
He just has a bunch of like flowery, like Shakespearean insults for that kid.
Azumi just goes, "Oh, that was nothing. What a bastard, though."
To say the very least, that wretched boy, he overran my castle with those silly pumpkins of his. They came in so quickly, they even overwhelmed all of my guards. I couldn't do a thing to stop him.
Did any of them get away?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen any of my subjects, so I fear the worst for them. At the very least, they are toys, so they can be repaired if we find them at all. But even so, at the moment, I'm more worried for my poor Colette than anything.
Question: Is she still in A's arm as she's talking?
Oh, absolutely. No, A was just like cuddling her like a doll, which she is. So.
Oh my, that's such a good mental image. I hope you know.
Listen, Ave desperately needs a comfort object right now. Oh, well, at any rate, he said that Colette would be in the dollhouse. Oh, unfortunately, when last we were there, our garden had been turned to a hedge maze, and I fear what it may have transformed into now with all those pumpkins running about. Hmm. I know that the three of you have already assisted me once, but would you be willing to escort the both of us through there as well?
Oh, well,
That's why we came.
Don't see why not.
Right.
certainly. I think it would be best to check on Colette.
Indeed. Well, in that case, I ought to make it official. And she hops out of A's arms with a little squeak when she lands on the floor. All right, kneel down, bow your heads. Go on. Well, go on. We don't have all day.
Azumi makes the face.
Yeah,
Are
I guess
you
she's
excited?
It seems like it.
Oh, man.
Crystal's raising an eyebrow at that.
Professor hesitates a moment and looks a little insulted because he hates being told to do something like deferential, like bow.
I think A's
But
kind of
after,
I think A's kind of like sweat dropping at this too, and she's just like, you should probably just play along. Lilibet can be a bit stubborn about these sorts of things. I think Lilibet turns to like say something in protest, but then she just kind of like turns and shrugs, like, well, she's not wrong.
yeah, Professor will relent and bow, if a bit stiffly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Crystal will follow suit, but I just love the it's like bows and all three of them are like, excuse me.
All of them hate authority.
Yes.
Alright. Well, okay, once you get 3 of you are kneeling down, she taps each of you on either shoulder and says, I officially dub thee my temporary royal bodyguards.
Honored.
Azumi in his
She's
head,
keeping her mouth shut.
Azumi in his head, has like is just going. It's fine. It's okay. She is probably a mental construct and is also a toy. It's fine.
Meanwhile, while she's doing this whole rigmarole, A is just looking so embarrassed right now.
Professor to Azumi over the mind link, like, I don't think it's legally binding.
Better not be.
By the way, dear, anything that rancorous Cad said to you to heart, he's a fool and doesn't know anything about the mind or how it works or how to be nice to people, clearly.
Oh, most assuredly, the little bit agrees with you. He was spewing nothing but terrible falsehoods, I assure you, my dear. And I think A just kind of nods along. Yeah.
Izumi's kind of doing his pondering thing, and he kind of like, as he's standing up, he's kind of like brushing himself off, and he's just like, if I didn't know any better, I think he was bluffing.
You think so?
Given how cocky he was, yeah. But I can't say.
He's probably hiding something behind that over-bloated overconfidence.
Well, you know what they say.
Very certain. You go.
You know what they say. Confidence is ignorance.
Do they say that?
I'm quoting a book, and then halfway through saying that, I realized that I was in the process of making an XP from that book.
Alright. Well,
I do think Crystal's going to sort of turn to A and say, one thing is definitely for certain. He is not a figment of your imagination. He is very much real and is very much the cause of this.
yeah, I think so too. That definitely proved it. I don't trust him in the least, but if he knows about my mother, maybe I can get some answers.
Maybe, but well, we might have to get them. Well, we don't have to get them by playing along with his game. We could get them by alternative means.
Did any of us actually agree to the game? Verbally?
Not outright, I don't think.
Well, if you want
Do you
to
think
be...
I'd be as foolish as to go, it's a deal, to a devil?
He kind of raises a brow at you. You have done some stupid shit.
Yeah, he just makes a face and rolls his eyes.
Well, if we do intend to look for the letter your mother left for you, we ought to be cautious with it. Let's just say that letter has caused quite a bit of trouble in the past. Little Bet says.
Yes, we should be careful with it. Absolutely.
And this might go without saying, but if we meet him again, be careful with your words.
Quite right. Well, shall we go on then?
Indeed, onward we shall go. And I think Lilibet, she starts off by herself, but with her tiny little legs and squeaking with every single step, she's moving so slowly. So I think A just walks up behind her and picks her up.
Aw.
I
Aw.
think, yeah, I think he would.
Mhm.
He's just a fucking normal girl. Azumi's gonna hold out a hand for her to see if she wants a little bit more comfort.
Aww. Yeah, I think she's holding Lilibet with one arm, and she'll extend a hand to Azumi.
It's the big bro instinct.
Aww.
Slowly.
That's very sweet.
I just had a funny thought. Professor offers his hand to Crystal, like, do you want to hold hands?
Absolutely not.
God, Koro!
Oh.
I just remembered!
He will shake Koro's paw instead.
Aww.
As they get going. Oh gosh.
Alrighty. Okay, I think with that, we can start wrapping up here. So, you guys, you head down this hallway that was behind the throne room, and you find a doorway that leads out into what looks like a very pretty garden, or at least you think it was probably very pretty at some point. Yeah, because at the front area there are some nice little rose bushes, but the further in you get, they're kind of being choked by all these pumpkin vines and that are wrapping around them. A lot of the roses have started to wilt, and you come to the entrance of a hedge maze, and the inside does not look very welcoming at all. There are these big, tall hedges that loom over you that have like thorns and sharp leaves kind of poking out of them. And it appears that you're gonna have to go through here if you want to get to where Colette currently is. And that is where we are going to end our session for today.
What was that last bit you said? Something way?
I said you're going to have to go through this maze that's ahead of you if you're going to get to Colette, and that's where we're going to end the session for today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for running this.
Yeah. Thank you for playing with me, folks. All right.
Oh, this was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Hee
All right, I'm going to end the recording here, but thank you to everybody listening in the future, and I wish you all a very good time zone. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.